Direct. We have Legos literally on every surface you can have Legos. I'm going to shoot her a text and say, hey, don't worry about the Legos, babe. I got them when I get home.
So I had a tiny little shop vac when my kids were little.
Yeah.
That I only used to pick up Legos.
Oh, that is brilliant, actually.
So it was never dirty. It was always super clean. And I just walked around and sucked them all up.
You just changed my life.
I'm saying.
So you bought a separate shop vac.
That's correct.
Just for your kids' toys.
Now, here are the guys.
Happy Tuesday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. If you were paying attention last night to what happened on the baseball field at Petco Park, well, you were pretty disappointed in a lot of different ways. So we'll get into that. Before we do, though, yeah, that conversation about the Legos, I've already made an order. I have a little tiny, 12-gallon shop vac.
Can change your life.
Oh, it's inbound.
Can change your life.
As soon as you said it, I'm like, well, I know what my next purchase is going to be. So, I mean, who
I
knows?
meant to send it to you guys, but I got one advertised to me on Instagram yesterday.
Yeah.
A shop vac.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about it.
I had a little shop vac and I had two of the extension sticks. I didn't have to bend over.
Oh my God, you genius! You that is brilliant.
I'm just saying.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. So you changed my life. Soon to. I'm never going to give you credit in our household. I'm just going to tell Annie, thought of this myself.
Done.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, there were a couple times though that it was in dirt, like they screwed around with the Legos and it was dusty, and I'm like, meh.
Don't care.
Yeah. That got vacuumed up too.
There's going to be dirt in the bin of Legos. That's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Padres last night, unfortunate end to that game. It kind of let's talk about it in terms of what we were just discussing. So I've got little kids, they build with Legos, and if you knock over their Lego tower, one of them absolutely will freak out. It's either the older one or the younger one. That's what it felt like last night for fans. We spent this whole weekend building up the Padres. They just beat the Dodgers, right? This is their fourth winning series in a row. This team is something. It's special, right? It's the Lego tower I've been working all weekend on. And then all of a sudden, Machado and the gang knocked it over, and it makes you sad. It makes you really sad. Now, look, it's not impossible to rebuild, but you're never going to It feels different after a 5-4 loss to the Rockies than it did leaving the weekend, a winning series against the Dodgers. And the pre-streak is over. So we start at 0.
Start again.
Yeah.
The pre-streak.
The pre-streak. We got Dylan Cease on the mound tonight, and a lot to look forward to there. But Randy Vasquez, he got roughed up. He gets yanked in the fourth. And they just really couldn't figure out Dakota Hudson, the Padres hitters. It was the late inning surge that even made this a ball game. And then the offense, and in the end, disappointed.
Yeah, it is unfortunate because Vasquez, he had one run on the board. So was it the fourth? Is that when he gave up?
The fourth. He gave up 4 straight.
Yeah, I mean, it's another one of these situations where you're like, did you wait one batter too long? But, I mean, honestly, 5 runs should be able to be overcome by this Padres team. The bullpen did their job. Once they got to 5 runs, the bleeding stopped. And the Padres clawed back a bit, but in multiple chances in the 8th and the 9th, they don't bring in any runs, and
It's not exaggerating when I say the Padres probably should have won that game 9-5 instead of lost 5-4.
Yeah.
You had the bases loaded twice in the final 2 innings. In the 7th inning, you had multiple people on base. All 3 of those times with the top of the order coming up, and the top of the order really let you down yesterday. You can blame Luis Campusano if you want. He should have taken that pitch, right? He should have gotten hit by it. That's hard to do. I think instincts kind of take over at some point, but I agree he should have taken it. I don't know if I put the entire game on him for that. You can also blame Manny Machado.
I also do.
In the bottom of the 9th inning, everything is set up for him. 1 out on the board, bases are loaded. The guy cannot throw a strike against the Padres, and Manny Machado goes first pitch swinging into a double play, game over. And it ends that quickly when all this momentum you feel like got built up by really great at-bats. You have one crappy at-bat. And that's kind of how the game ended. And so you look, and that does not erase everything the Padres did against the Dodgers. There's a lot of overreaction last night, but that is the pendulum swing of what we were talking about yesterday. How can you turn this great momentum you get against the Dodgers and just keep winning against teams you're supposed to beat?
I don't blame anybody for the reaction last night. I don't call it an overreaction because this is who the Padres are. And this is what we've discussed throughout the course of this season. In no way, shape, or form have the Padres taught us that what we saw against the Dodgers is what you're going to get all season long. So there was an expectation for me, at least, of a letdown. I didn't know it was going to be as dramatic of a letdown as what last night ended up transpiring. But 11 walks and you can't win that game. You said it perfectly. They should have scored 10 runs in that game.
Mm.
8 of those runs, by the way, 8 of those walks came after Jackson Merrill's solo shot. So,
Which was a shot.
You had,
Farrell, baby.
you had 8 runners on base after the solo homer from Jackson Merrill, and they still couldn't get it done in the late innings.
Yeah, and it just, look, I love what Jackson Merrill's doing. I love what Profar's doing. I love that they're Padres. I love that they're fired up. But if you're relying on a couple of the lowest paid guys on the team to go ahead and get the wins for you because your superstars aren't hitting, be a problem at some point.
Yeah.
At some point, that may run out. And the guys you're supposed to be able to lean on, you can't lean on right now.
They put runners on first and second with nobody out in the 7th before Luis Arraez bounced into a double play and Fernando Tatis Jr. grounded out. In the 8th, they worked a trio of walks to load the base before Luis Campusano lined to center. Then in the 9th, the Padres had their best chance of the night. 3 walks by Rockies closer Jalen Beeks loaded the base for Manny Machado with 1 out. And Machado, who's struggled lately, especially not playing Machado level baseball, doesn't cash in. It's just, look, it's the same old story with the Padres this season. For all the good, there's the bad. You can't look at this record and describe it any differently. Yes, there are positives. And Mike Schilt, he's very good at highlighting and exemplifying the positives. He talks about the fight in this baseball team. And I agree. There are times where this is a scrappy bunch. They do feel different than last year's Padres. I don't see a ton of quit in this ball club. However, the biggest problem with this ball club, Mike Schilt or anybody else in this franchise right now who's scratching their heads trying to figure out why the wins and losses don't equal the level of fight in the team, it's because your stars are not showing up for you. For whatever reason, Fernando Tatis Jr. has had a cold start. For whatever reason, Machado has had a cold start. Xander Bogaerts looks like he left his bat in Boston. Okay, so this is a year and a half we've been waiting for him to start looking like Xander Bogaerts. I don't understand why this is the baseball team where all the stars seem to just put their hats on and wave to the fans, and that's about all we get out of them.
So at what point do we stop calling them stars?
Well, no,
I think that's but that's the serious question, right? Like, at what point is this the reality that Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, if this continues to struggle, maybe they're not the stars that we thought they were, and that'd be a very harrowing reality for the Padres who've invested so much into them. Now, Xander Bogaerts appears to be getting it back a little bit, I guess. He's still striking out a ton, but he hit another home run yesterday. But when you look at the Manny Machado of it all, I mean, since the 2022 season where he was a world beater, he was fantastic. He led the Padres to that NLDS and into the NLCS. Since then, he just hasn't looked like Manny Machado. And I think that's something that has to have everybody in the Padres organization very nervous, considering how long you're tied to these 3 guys. It's just something that it might not be overcomable.
Well, I think that what would make you nervous about it is Manny Machado is the weather vane here. Manny Machado is the guy that you look at to go, okay, if he's happy, he's hitting, things are good, the team is in good health. The team is rolling along. If Manny's unhappy, nothing works. Now, he doesn't look unhappy. He was, in the dugout taking pictures. He's smiling, looks like he's having a good time. But that's because I think they came off of that winning series with the Dodgers, and there was some good moments in yesterday's game, but it ends up being a loss. And Manny was teed up to be the hero. I mean, it was so perfectly set up for Manny Machado to go ahead and mash the throttle and all of a sudden turn into the Manny of old and be the Manny that we expect him to be. And it was a dud.
That is the backyard wiffle ball game dream scenario.
Dude, that's it.
You're announcing your own game. Ben Fletcher steps up to the plate, 1 out, bottom of the 9th, bases loaded. Like, that is the dream.
Dude, a walk-off grand slam Diego?
The dream. And look, hindsight's 2020, like the Luis Campusano thing, right? So say he dodges that, but then hits a home run. Like, everything changes in the conversation. Manny Machado last night, a lot of the issues people have is that he's swinging first pitch on a guy that couldn't throw a strike. And I have that same issue. I would have taken maybe 2 pitches before I would even start swinging. But with Manny Machado, if that ball gets through, if it's a single, it's a walk-off hit, the whole conversation is different. The fact of the matter is it's not.
Yeah, but if you're also Manny and you see a pitch you like, yeah, you're going to take it.
I'm never going to doubt a hitter in the moment jumping at an opportunity. Look, you're going to miss sometimes. And by the way, you're going to miss 100% of the balls you don't swing at. So if you see a pitch you like, even if it's the first pitch, swing away. I mean, I'm giving Manny Machado, the hitter in that situation, the green light every single damn time.
Right.
I mean, there's no question about no.
There is a question.
You're gonna tell him don't swing?
No,
yes.
Swing away. Swing away.
Okay,
bases
like
loaded. You have Manny Machado
because
at the plate.
I get it, guys, and it's Manny Machado, but it's not the same Manny Machado. I understand that. But in like traditional baseball, like the rules of the game, the numbers, if you want to play that, you take when a pitcher can't throw a strike. Because he could walk Manny home. The dude did not prove he could throw a strike that entire inning.
Hang on a second. You're Mike Schilt. You're telling Manny Machado to take a pitch?
Or I thought Manny Machado. I'm understanding baseball.
Yeah. Go be Manny Machado. Like, it's terrible advice to tell a great hitter anything before he gets out on the plate in that situation. That's my point, is the stars have to start playing like the back of their baseball cards. Fernando Tatis Jr., is he still a star? Yes, but he has to start playing like it again. Manny Machado, is he still a star? He had a slow 2023, and he's off to a slow 2024. But if you look at his career numbers, this guy mashes. I mean, it's not acceptable what he's done so far this season, and it wasn't. Look, there were excuses all year long last year. The speculation that he was more hurt than he wasn't. So, okay, we can talk about an aberration or a bad year for any baseball player, especially in as long of a career as he's had. But at some point, we're going to hit a point in Manny Machado's career where he does start tailing, because that's what happens to all baseball players. I think it's too early in his career to start really worrying about that, but at some point it will happen. But in that situation, you give Manny the green light, swing at any pitch you like, and save us here, buddy. Like, and to be perfectly honest with you, that was a big complaint about Juan Soto last year, is he took too many pitches. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's not Burger King. You can't always have it your way. You have to trust players to do big things in big situations. The problem with Manny Machado is he hasn't. The problem with Fernando Tatis Jr. is he hasn't. The problem with Xander Bogaerts, which accounts for almost $750 million that you're paying in this lineup, he hasn't. Yeah. So that's the frustration with this Padres team.
Yeah, and there's been multiple occasions where there have been moments like we saw last night where, there's not bases loaded, but there's someone in scoring position and the superstars don't go knock them in. And that's all we're asking for. We're just, come on. All you got to do is get one. Just get one.
Take this thing and tap.
Just send a run home.
There was a number flying around yesterday. The Padres in the National League actually have the best record against teams with a winning record so far this season. And that's a similar story to what they were last year. They would beat teams that they weren't supposed to beat and lose all the games against the teams that they were supposed to beat easily. So there was an end of the year number last year where if the Padres had switched their record with the Diamondbacks, so I think they were 6-7 against the Diamondbacks last year. If they'd have been 7-6 against the Diamondbacks last year, they would have been in the postseason. Diamondbacks would have been bounced.
It's crazy.
And so you really look at this game on May 13th against the Rockies and you think, oh, well, that's just a letdown coming off a great series against the Dodgers. It's an unacceptable letdown. It's the freaking Rockies who suck.
Which, by the way, as we were talking yesterday, will we remember a game in May against the Dodgers as a turning point game? Will it stick out after one loss to the Rockies? I don't remember what happened with the Dodgers. I mean, honestly, I know we won the series, but I mean, it's already so far in the rear view that you lose it. And the problem with this Padres team this season is, seems a lot like last season.
500 baseball team.
Yeah, a lot of deja vu. So you win a couple, you lose a couple. You win a couple, you lose a couple. And it's a 500 baseball team.
What I got for you is the WNBA has started to implement its regular season chartering program for the beginning of the 2024 campaign, with the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark's new team, and the Minnesota Lynx flying private for their opening day games in Connecticut and Seattle, respectively. Personnel from multiple teams told ESPN that they haven't received word from the league on when they'll be permitted to charter as the WNBA prepares to kick off the 28th season. So all of a sudden, a little bit of the red carpet treatment rolled out for the WNBA's new boo, Caitlin Clark.
Other teams are pissed, by the way.
Yeah.
Like the Oakland team, I can't remember their name, but they had some crazy issue with their flights, and they are furious.
You have the New York team busing to games. Like, people are pissed.
Especially the video posted of the Fever going through, like, everyone's drinking orange juice out of champagne glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Shocking, though, that the WNBA would want to take care of their moneymaker.
Well, here's the deal. The NBA still subsidizes this league. So that means the NBA is going to foot the bill for, I think the total amount is like $25 million this upcoming season. And that number is not going to get smaller. They don't make any revenue. The WNBA loses a tremendous amount of money every single year for the NBA. And so this is only going to continue to spiral. This will be red on the tally sheet for the NBA every year. And the reason why is because they're now going to be chartering these flights.
Now that game is sold out, so maybe it's making money, right? Like maybe Caitlin Clark is the beacon that the NBA sees. Like, oh, hey, maybe she could turn this red into a green at some point.
We'll
but
see what the ratings
don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I know the ticket sales were way up, but the average ticket I think was right around $100.
Yeah,
right?
it's sold out now. I think resale tickets are going for $150.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like a ton of money to me, but maybe it is in this situation.
The NFL, Detroit Lions are signing Jared Goff, their quarterback, to a 4-year, $212 million contract extension. That includes $170 million guaranteed. The deal makes Goff the highest paid player in franchise history for the Lions. Also, the $53 million average salary in Goff's new deal makes him the second highest paid quarterback, only behind Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow, who gets paid $55 million per year on his deal. You already heard about the Padres night last night, so we'll move on to the NFL, where we have a few more schedule announcements to grace you with this morning. Okay, so officially the full schedule will be released on Wednesday night. So Thursday morning, we'll do a ton of reaction. But as we get closer, more and more games are trickling out. We were already aware of the Ravens at Chiefs, the NFL opener, Thursday Night Football. That'll be where the season begins.
Feels like a hell of a game.
That's a great game. Good place to start.
Right on paper. Woo!
Yeah,
man.
Now we have 2 more Week 1 games, and we actually have a Week 2 game that was now these aren't being leaked.
A teaser.
Did you see Adam Schefter's tweet? These are not leaks. These are trickling out to promote the NFL schedule release coming up on Thursday. He had to make it so clear.
Well,
there is no other league, there is no other sport where trickling out the schedule is exciting.
Oh, but it really is. It's palpable excitement on Twitter, on social media.
And you know what? I take that back, because if it was MMA or boxing and you are talking about upcoming fights, you get excited. I mean, this is what this is.
And sometimes it's like you won't hear about the main event. You'll hear about an undercard you're excited for. You're like, wow, if that's an undercard, I wonder what the main event's going to be. And then everybody speculates and then it gets announced. You're absolutely right. That's a good comparison. But yeah, so Week 1, we know Ravens at Chiefs. What we learned last night or yesterday, Cowboys will be visiting the Browns. That's going to be a Week 1 ball game. What's interesting about that? Tom Brady's first broadcast for Fox in the booth.
He's finally getting paid from Fox. Getting a piece of that $340 million. Is that what it was?
275.
275.
So he's getting paid $275 over 10 years.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah. Chump change, really, if you think about it.
God, I wish I was Tom Brady.
Do you?
Well, I mean,
do you?
Yeah,
actually, I do too. So September 8th, that's gonna. How do you think Brady is gonna be in the booth?
I don't know. You think it's a home run, right? You think it's gonna be perfect when he goes up there, because everything he's done in his career has been kind of perfect in an annoying fashion. What if he fails miserably? Like, we saw that with Drew Brees. We all kind of thought that was going to be perfect, too. We saw it with Jason Witten. Everyone was really excited about that. Like, oh, the fun tight end from Dallas, who's always given great press conferences, and then he failed miserably.
You know what? What's interesting, though, is I never thought of Jason Witten that way. And I'm buddies with him. You know, like, we don't talk a lot, but I remember going to, like, NFLPA events and always sitting near him. I really like him a lot. But I never I never thought of Jason Witten as like this gregarious guy. I understood the reason why he was making the transition to Booth. Super smart dude, super duper smart dude, and a great player. But definitely a Cowboys Hall of Famer at his position. When I saw him in the booth, though, I was like, yeah, I think that kind of makes sense that it didn't work.
I just remember the excitement around him making the transition.
Because he's a Cowboy.
Yeah, we had like former players on to talk about it, and they were like, oh, he's going to kill it. He's going to be so great. And then the first game came, and he was awful.
See, that's my feeling with Tom Brady. I think he's going to kill it. I think Tom Brady's going to be great at it because, again, like you said, like I know, he's never been bad at anything he's attempted to do related to football. The other thing that we have is a Monday Night Football game the same weekend, the opening weekend. Jets at Niners. So your boy Brock Purdy going against Aaron Rodgers.
Niners favored by 5, by the way.
It's a look-ahead line.
It's because we haven't seen the Jets with Aaron Rodgers.
Now the question is, do you want to tease that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because Fletch, you are our gambling expert. I want you to break that all down for us.
This is kind of exciting, though. You get Aaron Rodgers, 49ers, week 1,
it's
Monday
huge.
night.
Aaron Rodgers against the second place team.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers against
the runner-up.
team that Aaron Rodgers was pissed at for not drafting him, the team that I'm pissed at for not drafting him. Like, how this is going to be an awesome matchup.
no, I think it is too. I think this is another great game on the slate, and the reason it was leaked out is because it's a great game.
Well, over under 5 plays for Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going to go more.
I'm going to take the over. I'm going to take the over on this one. I do think that
Sure, Nick Bosa's not going to kill him.
Well, he might. You know, here's the problem for Aaron Rodgers is coming off the Achilles, and so he gets the extra day to rest. So he's not playing on Sunday; he's playing on Monday night.
It's one more day.
How much? Like, serious question about Aaron Rodgers. How much do you worry about his side-to-side mobility? Because if you think back to like Aaron Rodgers' historic plays, it's him scrambling out to the right or scrambling out to the left and hitting Jared Cook down the sideline in that Dallas playoff game, hitting Jordy Nelson deep in the end zone. Like, that's kind of the thought I have of Aaron Rodgers. It's not so much him in the pocket, even though I know he's good there too.
Not as much anymore, though. That was young Aaron Rodgers. He reminds me, his career trajectory reminds me a little bit of Big Ben. Not the same, but similar. Aaron Rodgers was always a better pocket passer than Big Ben. However, they both had a great level of athleticism. That was a big part of their early years in the NFL. And both of them transitioned to become more gunslingers from the pocket. Aaron Rodgers, again, I think had a higher level from the pocket as a passer than Roethlisberger. So I don't think it's going to affect his game as much. We'll see. But certainly it's going to be a question how he looks fresh off of an Achilles tear. And really not fresh off of it. It's going to be a full year that he's had to heal up from this. 12 months from when he tore his Achilles the opening weekend against the Bills.
Was
To the date,
was it a
right?
Monday
That was a
night
Monday
game?
night game.
Yeah, it was. That's what I
Almost
was
to
just
the
trying
day.
to look up.
Yeah, because it was the September 11th game last year
Yeah.
on Monday night, because there was that iconic video of Aaron Rodgers running out with the
with
flag.
the flag.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone was so hyped. First game of the year.
So he'll have 364 days to recover from that because it was a leap year.
Right.
There was a meme that was put out as we were talking about Tom Brady. I was trying to find it. I don't know if you saw this. Tom Brady looks like someone asked to draw Kevin Bacon from memory.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw this last night.
It is so perfect.
All right, Tom Brady promo. It's got to be the Footloose video.
By the way,
Oh
the
my
Chiefs,
God.
they're going to play the Bengals week 2. So already we have a week 2 game that got leaked out.
So Chiefs going to AFC North, AFC North.
Mhm.
Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Trying to start the Chiefs 0-2. I like it.
Well, no easy scheduling for the Super Bowl champion. This is where the league really shines. So with the draft, all the bad teams get better. And then with the schedule making, all the good teams are challenged all season long. It's the reason why it's the most equitable league in terms of not being able to call which teams are going to be great. And there are still dynasties. That's the crazy thing. You know, the Cowboys of the 90s, the Patriots of the 2000s and the 2010s, now the Chiefs of the 2020. Like, there's still dynasties, which, I mean, it speaks to the talent of Patrick Mahomes, really.
Before I tell you about how skinny I've gotten, there was a very funny tweet yesterday about dynasties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it did the winning percentages of teams over the last 10 years for all 3 of the major sports. And so obviously the Chiefs, the Chiefs, Dodgers, and Warriors had the highest ones across the 3. But then you look at championships. Warriors have 4 in the last 10 years. Chiefs have 3 in the last years. Dodgers have the COVID one.
Yeah, that's
Losers.
just one.
Yeah, losers.
Speaking of losers, the three of us, massive losers.
Yeah,
all
we are.
three of us. And
Big
it's because of sdfatloss.com.
High five.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah.
Like, seriously, if you're looking to make a big change in your life, sdfatloss.com is the place to go. If you're looking in the mirror and not thrilled with what you're seeing, we've been there, and we were there in a big way last summer, man. 278 pounds. It's embarrassing still to even think about that, but it got out of control. It got out of control quick, and that can happen pretty easily when it comes to your weight, when it comes to your health. Get on over to sdfatloss.com and put a stop to that. It's the natural way to do things. You're not going to worry about the side effects of some of these drugs that are really kind of scary when you see some of the stories coming out. And you're not going to have to worry about like this exact prepackaged meal that you get sick of over and over again. Wayne and Chloe will teach you the way to still enjoy the food you're eating while you're dieting and losing weight the natural way, and losing weight really, really fast. We can't emphasize that enough. It is shocking how fast that weight comes off, because by the end of the first week, we were all down over 10 pounds. By the end of the 2 months, we were down 35 pounds or more.
Last night, I went back and looked at the app because they have a companion app that you'll use along your weight loss journey. I lost 14 pounds in the first 5 days.
It's alarming.
I remember the first week,
Yeah.
the first couple, maybe 3 days, I don't think I lost a single pound. And then you got to day 3 or 4 and you were like, I've dropped 5. And I'm like, he's a liar. He's a liar. And then I started catching up. I was down 10 the first week.
And it's different for everybody, but yeah, by and large, by day 7 to 10, you're realizing, oh my goodness, I'm losing more weight doing this than I've ever lost on any weight loss point.
And then your wife attacks you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get on over to sdfatloss.com today. Mention Big Rich, TD, and Fletcher. You're going to get $200 off the program. Start losing weight now and think about what you got coming up this summer, because you want to be looking a little bit better to do those things. sdfatloss.com. Coming up next, more NFL news.
You can win yourself $1,000 with bonus bucks here on San Diego Sports 760. All you have to do is listen for a keyword and then take the keyword over to sportssd.com and enter it your chance at a grand coming up 9 o'clock. And you too will be rich like Jared Goff.
This update is presented by Lexus El Cajon. Bring luxury home. Padres fall to the Rockies yesterday 5-4. Pods wasting a couple of bases loaded situations in the final 2 innings. Coming up tonight, Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres, taking on former Padre Cal Quantrill for the Rockies in the NBA playoffs. Boston takes a 3-1 series lead over the Cavs with a 109-102 win. Thunder even up their series with the Mavericks at 2 games apiece, 196 win in Dallas. And in the NFL, Lions signing their quarterback Jared Goff to a $212 million contract extension, making him the highest paid player in Lions history. Experience true luxury from the newly remodeled Lexus El Cajon showroom. You'll get a great deal with Memorial Day savings on newer pre-owned Lexus in stock. See for yourself why they're ranked #1 for customer service. Visit LexusElCajon.com. Bring luxury home from Lexus El Cajon.
Receiving Fletch at San Diego Sports 760. We got a giveaway today. Is this the last day? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. No, today.
Today.
Today's the 14th. Concert week ends today.
That's right. Concert weekends today, and we have your last shot at Iron Maiden tickets. They're going to be at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater October 4th. But yeah, Fletch is right. Concert week ends today. $25 tickets to over 5,000 shows. It's up to 75% off on sale May 8th through the 14th, which would be today. Your last day to get $25 concert and comedy tickets and fill your summer with shows. To get your tickets, go to livenation.com/concert week.
So an NFL team did what they had to do. I don't think anybody is surprised. I don't think anybody is upset or shocked over what the Lions ended up doing with Jared Goff's contract, but he signed a 4-year, $212 million contract extension. He's getting $170 up front. It makes him the second highest paid quarterback in the league per average annual salary.
I think there's a lot of people scoffing at this contract.
Scoffing.
Oh my, he's taking on your lap. He's taking a lap.
and he wheels out of the control room.
Do you think this is a ridiculous amount of money to pay Jared Goff?
I mean, it seems like a lot of money, but I was just talking about it with Fletch in the break here. To me, I mean, $50 million plus a year for Goff, that seems like a ton of dough. But I went, I don't know. Maybe that's just the going rate on a good quarterback now at $50 million, where, you know, you look at Dak Prescott who wants $60 million, and to that I go, that's too much money. It's not going to work. But again, housing's gone up. Gas has gone up. Milk has gone up. Goff has gone up. $212 million. I mean, does it feel like a lot of dough to you?
No.
Really?
Well, here's the
Yeah,
reason
it's
why.
a lot of dough, but it's what quarterbacks cost.
Sorry, yeah.
So
Actually,
top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now.
let me correct what I said. It's a tremendous amount of money. But yeah, Fletch, you said it right. That's what quarterbacks go for.
Joe Burrow, $55 million. Jared Goff, $53 million. Justin Herbert, $52.5 million. Lamar Jackson, $52 million. Jalen Hurts, $51 million. Those are all similar quarterbacks.
I didn't hear any Patrick on that list.
I think he's 7th. Kirk Cousins behind those top 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and that's the way this goes. Okay, so it's a churning of the so here's the way I'll describe it. It's my favorite way to describe the quarterback market. It's just like the housing market in a super expensive neighborhood. It is not. It has nothing to do with the quality of the house. It's the quality of the house and the quality of neighborhood plus the availability. So Jared Goff, if he's up for an extension and he's coming off a top 10 season, which if you look at any metric, he's top 10. You know, I mean, pass yards, I think he was 2nd overall in the league. Passer rating, I think he was 10th or 11th. Quarterback rating, he was 10th. You look at any metric, he's right there in the top 10, or he is in 10th place. So he's a top 10 quarterback. He's a top tier quarterback in this league, which if you're the Detroit Lions and you're thinking to yourself, okay, we piss him off. We lose the opportunity on a year in, year out basis to be in the postseason. If you're a Detroit Lions fan, that's all you want, is just to be able to be in the dance every year. This is a desperate franchise. This is a desperate fan base. They had a historic season last year just getting in.
They were 3 points away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, I remember how close that game was. God, I was, bricks the entire game as the 49ers fell down early to the Lions and came back in the second half. Lions were almost in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is Jared Goff.
Yeah. Oh, you mean getting there?
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. Everything you say makes absolute total sense.
Except $52 million.
Yeah, but I get it. It just seems like, golly, you got to come up with, you got to pony up $53 million bucks.
But think
to
about
have
it.
yourself a top 10 quarterback.
You think about it. Say you're shopping the best 10 houses in La Jolla,
Right.
But there's only one that's on the market currently. It doesn't matter what it does matter. Look, comps, everybody pulls comparable prices. Comps matter. So whatever everybody else paid for the house, but you have to understand the market's going to continue to go up in these neighborhoods because everybody wants in. Recessions don't matter. There are certain neighborhoods that are bulletproof, and La Jolla is one of them. Beverly Hills is another one. Manhattan real estate is another one. Like
it seems crazy we're comparing La Jolla to Detroit, but I get it. I get your comparison.
But don't think about the city.
No.
Just think about QBs. Mahomes, Allen, Burrows. These are the guys who live in this neighborhood. But none of those houses are for sale. But Goff. Man, they're thinking about having an open house. So all of a sudden you go, no, Jared. We're gonna give you whatever you need. So you back up the Brinks truck because you want to keep that house.
Well, and it's not a fixer-upper.
No,
it's turnkey.
No,
it's ready to go.
And they already got Amon-Ra signed for the next 4 years, also. I think so. It's
big
like
contract.
There's offensive pieces are in place. Let's play a quick game before we go to break here. 4 quarterbacks up for contract extensions. Could be this offseason, could be later or next offseason. But Trevor Lawrence, more than or less than what Jared Goff just got paid?
It has to be less than.
I would assume less than.
Dak Prescott.
It's going to be
more.
Talking annual average value.
Oh, it's going to be less.
Less?
You think it's going to be less than 53?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think it's going to be damn near 60.
Jordan Love.
Yeah, that's going to be more.
More.
I would have gone less.
More than Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
More than Goff.
More than Goff.
Right, but you said Trevor Lawrence was less than Goff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think Trevor Lawrence has probably played himself out of like a top level contract.
Yeah, I agree.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Now that could end up being more than also.
Yeah,
because again, Tua has played like a top 10 guy for the most part. It depends very much so on what he does this season, but the only reason why they have a chance is McDaniel and Tagovailoa. If they didn't have those two working so well together, the Dolphins would be lost.
Next offseason, Brock Purdy.
He's going to get more.
Whoa!
There's no question in my mind. Because again,
it's going to get more from San Francisco.
Brock Purdy is a top 10 quarterback. That's what this looks like. That's what this looks like. And now, don't get me wrong, like Jared Goff may be one of these odd exceptions who decides to take a team-friendly deal like Tom Brady did his entire career, or any of these other guys we just mentioned. Maybe they're at a point in their career, Dak Prescott, whoever wants to stay a lifetime Cowboy, maybe he takes a little bit of a haircut. But outside of that, I think Brock Purdy is about to get
nothing about Dak Prescott strikes me as a take a team-friendly discount guy.
Don't think so.
All right, how about Rich Ornberger's Moeller? Because I'm going more.
More or less than keeping it?
No, more or less than the contract Jared Goff just signed. That's a $54 million Moeller, if you ask me.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's way less than that. It was way less than. Let me tell you something. Over at Ocean View Dental,
they'll set you up on a payment plan for $54 million.
$54 million. No. You will not reach quarterback prices in terms of dental bills if you go to Ocean View Dental. And that's part of the reason. That was part of the math, I guess I should say, in going to Ocean View Dental, having Dr. Jordan Colby handle some extensive oral surgery I needed a tooth pulled. I needed an extraction done on that tooth. I needed 3 implants put in. I was told by my former dentist it would take 18 months to do this whole procedure. It ended up only taking 3. And talk about price savings. When you're only doing everything out of one singular office, you're not going to other offices, having your imaging, all these trumped up charges with, like how much it's going to cost to do the pictures and the x-rays. You go to the next guy, they're going to talk about the oral surgery plan. You go to the next guy, it's one office, one dentist office, one bill. That was the beautiful thing about going to Ocean View Dental. And by the way, it's not just oral surgery. They do everything. You have your dental hygienist appointments there. You're going to have your normal dentist appointments. Say you have a cavity you need taken care of. They're going to take care of it in the same office. Plus, super family friendly. When I bring my wife, when I bring my kids, every single time we're there. They know all of our names. They know exactly why we're there. They're such sweet people. It feels like a family and a really comfortable dental office. It doesn't feel like you're going to visit a medical doctor. It feels, like I said, like you're sitting in somebody's living room while you're in the waiting room. And while you're having your dental procedure done, whether you're getting your teeth cleaned or otherwise, you're looking at views of the Pacific Ocean. So check them out at oceanviewdental.net. That's oceanviewdental.net. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. 1015 KGB.
Volume was up.
Oh, actually, we're not on 1015 KGB. We're on San Diego Sports 760. We were just talking about KGB.
That's
we
right.
do the afternoon rock show over there.
Well, we're doing some show prep.
Oh, yeah. We're that's the thing. When you are slaying a two-headed dragon, sometimes you have a little bit of cross-pollination. That's exactly what happened with our rundown here today.
That's the first time that happened over here where you said the wrong station. It happens over there 5 times
Constantly.
a day.
Yeah.
Constantly. Well, this is more ingrained. We've obviously been a sports talk show for a lot longer, but we do dabble in classic rock.
And
Foghat coming up next. Yeah, so if you want to listen, 1015 KGB 3 to 7, we're there as well.
I think that's the first time we've ever promoted that.
Who?
I don't know.
I mean, who knows if that's even true? I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah.
We're doing 7 hours of radio every day.
It's Tuesday somehow.
And we are so like just buried in show prep right now.
Yeah. Well, we're up to our eyeballs right now on your screen.
Yeah, well,
we're prepping for the afternoon.
The portal.
Oh yeah. We're gonna be a lot of portal talk. Actually, let's stop off and talk about this right now. So, a fascination of ours is this new portal that's in, I think it's the Flatiron District in Manhattan, New York City. And then there's another portal in Dublin. If you missed this story, basically all it is a live stream camera, and it's two ways.
Like a window straight to Dublin, and in Dublin, it's a window straight to New York City.
You can see exactly what's going on live on this camera at any time of the day. So Dubliners took it upon themselves to be, I guess, funny or shocking. There was shock value the first day that this thing existed. It's an art exhibit where they put up, somebody held their phone up and they're playing a GIF of the Twin Towers being attacked. So they the World Trade Center on fire.
Did you call it a GIF?
Is it a GIF or a
GIF or a
GIF?
GIF? I don't care. But so that it's such a lame argument. So they put that up on the screen, and then today we get news of this young lady who is on OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
She's
I'm selling her artwork.
Where she's buxom,
Yeah.
I would argue.
Yeah. She went
Wait,
ahead.
is it GIFs or GIFs?
No, we saw her GIFs.
Oh, we saw her GIFs or GIFs? Are they GIFs?
I think it is GIF.
Okay.
I think it's GIF with a T
Are
when
they-
you're talking about Ava Louise.
much much to give her proper credit. Ava Luis on Instagram and on OnlyFans. Goodness gracious.
So I guess she decided that Dublin wanted to see her with her shirt off.
If you check out the group chat, I scoured
Oh.
x.com and I tried to find a link to the Dublin side. I can't find the Dublin side, but I have found the New York side of that whole equation. And it works. Yeah. That works. See, this is what the portal should be about.
Yeah. This is art.
Yeah. Well,
Well, apparently the portal got shut down and now they put like a delay on it. So if anybody tries to do that again, they can dump it.
Why are they
Just like
taking away our freedoms?
Yeah, I don't know. And what's the point of the portal then if it's not live?
don't really. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Wow, that's
That's a different kind of portal.
Yeah, that is a porthole that we don't need.
I'm telling you right now, Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, boy, oh boy, you type in certain search codes and you're going to find some weird stuff.
Like all lowercase Padres.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Trust us. We've done that before. We've went down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, but for some reason, Fletch's was not the same algorithm.
Yeah, he's getting fed something.
Because you
else.
guys are perverts.
Whoa.
Did you see the SNL thing I sent you guys last night?
Oh, it was good.
They played a game like, all the couples are sitting at a table and it's like, hey, I know a fun game. Let's look at our search page or explore pages on Instagram. And all the guys just went into panic.
It's a deadpan. No, I'm not going to play that game.
One of them ate his phone and died.
Well, the one was so funny. She was like, "Oh my God, mine is all cookie recipes, guys. How embarrassing!" And then the guy's looking at his phone and he just drops it in his bowl of soup. I'm just like, that would. Okay, so we did this one time in bed. I was like, "Ann, click the little magnifying glass." You know, we're laying next to each other. Kids were asleep. I'm like, "Ann, click the little magnifying glass on your Instagram." So hers are all like parenting hacks and like, "Hey, we're going to Disney. Here's what you need to try while you're at the parks," or like other things, like really wholesome content. And I'm like, "Do you want to see what happens when I click mine?" I click mine, and it was a page of women asses. There you go. That's it. Or knockouts. Yeah. It was either people
Dang,
getting
dude.
knocked out
I
in the
don't-
octagon, or it was girl butts or boobs.
I
Mine's
don't
all
even-
Padres and Tiger Woods.
Let me see yours.
Wait,
lame.
mine has changed. Mine was dogs and base players, and now I have boobs and MMA. I don't even click on MMA.
Dude, yeah. Everything I don't even think that's necessarily
Not a single butt.
mine's-
Well, they're doing you dirty.
I
there
think
at the
you're doing
Instagram.
Instagram wrong.
Mine's like
Well-
Theo Vaughn, 49ers, Padres, and boxing, MMA, and fishing.
This is mine. Like, this is representative of every
That's
video.
way cooler, dude.
This is
What?
just a lady in boy shorts twerking in front of the camera for likes. I
Yeah.
don't know what to say.
Doing it for the gram.
Doing it for the gram and doing it well.
Huh.
Look,
Well,
it's
Welcome to the future.
yeah, it's a window to Dublin, and it's being used for boobs.
We should set up a portal here at work.
We should do that.
Yeah.
I got an uncle out in Italy.
Oh my god.
I mean, just
What part
like,
of Italy does he live in?
I think it's called Varese.
Okay, San
By-
Diego to
by a
Varese.
hold on. Does he have like a camera he could set up near a fig tree in his yard? Does he have a fig tree?
Dude, it is
I
an
don't
Italian
know.
thing.
Yeah, it is an
Probably.
Italian thing.
I was thinking you could just like set up a portal right next to the lake.
You know where I want to set up
all
a
right, I
portal
mean,
to?
I think
whatever.
Italian lake beaches are pretty cool.
I want to set up a portal straight to New Zealand, right? Because I want to keep my eyes on the All Blacks as they're getting ready to come out to San Diego.
I feel you.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And if you're unfamiliar, international rugby is coming to San Diego. That's right. The most famous rugby side in the world, the All Blacks, are coming to town. They're going to play against the Flying Fijians July 19th. This is historic. This doesn't happen very often, folks. So get ready to experience the speed, intensity, skill of the two best rugby sides in the world. Final tickets are on sale now, but they're going super duper fast. So don't miss out. Head to Ticketmaster.com. All you got to do is search the Flying Fijians or the All Blacks. Look for San Diego. Don't miss out on this opportunity. The All Blacks versus the Flying Fijians, July 19th at Snapdragon Stadium. That's Ticketmaster.com. Ticketmaster.com. Coming up next, we're going to have morning monologues. Also, if you're looking for Iron Maiden tickets, you're going to need those. And who's going to be in the booth week 1? We'll tell you. That's next.
Hour 2, Big Rich, TD and Fletch. This update presented by Lexus El Cajon. Bring luxury home. Padres fall to the Rockies yesterday 5-4. Pods waste a couple of opportunities late in the game with the bases loaded. Don't score a single run. Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres tonight, taking on former Padre Cal Quantrill for the Rockies. NBA playoffs, Boston takes a 3-1 series lead over the Cavs with a 109-102 win. Thunder even up their series with the Mavericks 2 games apiece with a 100-96 win in Dallas. And in the NFL, Lions, they signed their quarterback Jared Goff to a $212 million contract extension, making him the highest paid player in Lions history. Experience true luxury from the newly remodeled Lexus El Cajon showroom. You'll get a great deal with Memorial Day savings on any new or pre-owned Lexus in stock. See for yourself why they've ranked #1 for customer service. Visit LexusElCajon.com. Bring luxury home from Lexus El Cajon.
Yeehaw, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on a Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to those who celebrate. San Diego Sports 760. A lot to get to this hour. We have morning monologues. We have Iron Maiden tickets. Also, we have an update with the Steelers. There may already be some controversy in the quarterback room. We'll get to that. Yeah.
So spicy. Pretty spicy.
Spicy.
They have Subways down there?
But we have to discuss the Padres, this failure to get over the hump, right? We're just kind of middling. You know, if you're a Padres fan, you feel the needle tick up and then the needle ticks back down. The needle ticks up and then it ticks back down. And it's frustrating and it's weird and you don't understand why this team can't sustain. But that is the identity of the Padres so far. And that is an unfortunate identity. Now, it's a long enough season. This might be their identity through the first quarter or the first third or even maybe the first half of the season. We've seen World Series champions have slow starts to seasons, right? And then after the break, they turn on the afterburners. They have a winning record. They romp the field in the postseason and they hoist a trophy and they have a parade in their city. We've seen it before. We've actually seen it a pretty good amount of times recently. So it's not impossible. But right now, with this effort, with this identity, with this team, it doesn't feel like they're making enough headway for us to take them seriously as contenders.
Yeah, I mean, and a team here that is a 500 baseball team, you're right, could have a completely different identity, a different story here as we enter the second half of the season, which we're a quarter of the way through. So let's just say this stays the same until we get to the halfway point and they start to turn it on. Or, like you said, Rich, they keep it even all the way towards the end here till you get down to the last 10, 12 games. So let's, hypothetically, they're a 500 baseball team, 150 games in. And then the last 12 games, they win 8, 9 out of 12. And all of a sudden, they're hot at the right time. You're going to go into the postseason with 90-plus wins, probably.
It's just not a given, right?
No.
It's not a given that it doesn't go the opposite way and they lose 8 of those last 12 games. And that's a disaster. And then the whole season hinges on that. I don't think you can leave it up to that chance because of what we've seen from this Padres team over the time I've lived in San Diego, certainly. It feels like if you want to be the winning team here, you got to start doing it soon. And I know that's ridiculous coming from May 14th. But we saw last year how important the May games were that they struggled in. And we saw last year how thin the margins were at the end of the year, where if they just would have won a couple more games against the freaking Diamondbacks, they would have been in the postseason. And who knows how different history could have been. Even the 2022 year, like we think about it like this dominant year, it wasn't. Like they eked into the playoffs, into the wild card round, had an excellent series against the Mets, had a historic series against the Dodgers, and then got their asses kicked by the Phillies.
Yeah, but they got hot at the right time.
Right. And I just, can you rely on that? Can you rely on them eking into the postseason? Because that can easily switch the opposite way.
You can't rely on it. Certainly not. I mean, if it ends up working out that way, it's fine. You know, it doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get there. And it doesn't matter how you performed in the regular season as long as you perform well in the postseason. I don't care what happens in the regular season as long as that's the case. Now, it's going to be a lot of turmoil in the interim, like the 2022 season. Anybody who was paying attention to the regular season, especially toward the end of the regular season, was like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
They almost missed the playoffs.
They almost missed the playoffs. Mm-hmm. It was brutal.
It was a countdown.
It was a countdown. They were teetering on complete season failure all the way up till the final week of the regular season. You remember that?
I think it was the final 2 or 3 games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what I'm
It
saying.
was like
It was
the Phillies, the Milwaukee Brewers, and there was another team. There was 4 teams all within a couple games, and the Padres were in that bunch.
Oh, it was so brutal, but they pulled it off, and then they made it all the way to a championship series on the league side. So that's fun. The problem is the regular season wasn't. But again, the postseason cures all ails if you get there. The problem is 500 teams do not get to the postseason. They were a 500 team last year. They didn't get to the postseason. So this is their identity now. Can they break through? Here's what we know about the Padres. They've got common denominators in 2 places that have been around for a long time and have been here through the minor successes, or I should say the fleeting successes, and a lot of the losing seasons. Those 2 common denominators are AJ Preller and Manny Machado. If you were going to take the blame pie and you were going to put it and disperse it amongst those 2 names, because again, Manny Machado and AJ Preller have been here the longest. There's been a lot of changeover in the front office. There's been a lot of changeover at the coaching and the managerial level. There's been a lot of changeover on the roster, but Machado's been a constant, and so has AJ Preller. So who do you heap more blame on for the culture of this team?
Pretty easy to me, and it's AJ Preller. Now, that might be the easy way out because I think Manny does have a lot to do with the culture in terms of what's actually happening on the field and like the general feeling of angst or anxiety or happiness and awesomeness from this Padres team. But AJ Preller put everything together, man. And I think the buck stops with someone, and it might stop this year. Also, I feel like I have to think that way because AJ Preller might be gone after this year. Manny Machado is here, and he's here for the length of this contract, most likely.
That's not true. That's not true.
I think, well, he would have to opt out somehow.
You can trade contracts. You can trade Manny Machado.
Who's gonna take it?
I'm not saying that he's tradable right now. And I'm not even saying that he will be traded. And I'm not even suggesting that he should be traded. I'm curious. But contracts can be traded. We see it all the time, folks. And if AJ Preller goes, it's possible that so will some of the stars that he signed up. Because when regimes change, that's what happens. So I'm curious what people who care about the Padres think about this. 70470, start your message with team. You can hit us.
He does have a full no trade clause. What does that mean? Anything?
No, because they can have a discussion with Manny. Well, it does. It means that they have to have a discussion with Manny before they trade him. You know, so if they discuss with Manny or the new organization, new regime comes in, they discuss with Manny like, hey, we want to trade you. We're going to blow this thing up. You're going to be here through some lean years. You're toward the end of your contract. We're going to get what prospects we can. And guess what? He's going to say, yeah, send me to the Yankees, you know, send me to a contender. That's what he's going to say. And that's how those things happen. I'm not suggesting again that this is what should happen. I'm not saying this is what will happen, but it is a possibility. Don't think that anything is permanent just because it's in writing. It's not. So hit us up on the Talkback feature as well on the free iHeartRadio app, a little microphone button next to the play button. You can leave us a voicemail and we'll play it live on air. Who do you think is more to blame for this whole situation with the Padres being mediocre now through a season and a half, basically? Is it Machado or is it AJ Preller? Those are the 2 constants.
Well, I'll ask you, Rich. You were a former professional athlete. You played football at the highest level possible. You were down there on the field. What's more important, the culture being built on the field or what you feel from the front office?
100% in terms of team building and success. You need a great talent evaluator. You need somebody who has an eye for building a great roster and assembling pieces and putting talented people around star players. However, you need great leadership at the field level. You know, so if I were going to designate blame in terms of constants, and I was only given 2 options, like how I'm posing the question, AJ Preller and Machado, I feel like they are equally to blame for the successes and failures both, which, by the way, is the reason why I praise Machado when things are going well. Because when things are going well, you have to give credit where credit's due. If he's the star of the team, the roster's playing well, he has something to do with it. When they're not, you have to give equivalent blame. It's the way I talk about the Lakers. A lot of people are going to blame Darvin Ham and he's got to go and fire the head coach. Well, it's LeBron's team. He's as much to blame as anybody in that whole organization.
Where I look at this as to where to lay the most blame is if I were to take Manny out of the equation, let's just say he was traded away and he was gone. I still feel like there's a problem, and the problem's AJ Preller. However, if you remove AJ Preller, could you put someone else in there who could heal things in the dugout. And I think maybe you could. So that's where I lean on AJ Preller probably has more to do with this than Manny Machado.
Well, here's what I will say. I don't know how much AJ Preller has day-to-day interaction with the clubhouse or the players in the clubhouse. In fact, you've heard from a lot of people that he's off overseas scouting. He doesn't have as much contact with the team as he probably should. And the reality of the situation is that means that it's Manny's team. It means that, and it's Manny's team because you filter through now, what, 5 managers? Not 5 in his time there, but 4 during Manny Machado's tenure with the Padres. Is that accurate? I'm pretty sure.
Was he there for the last Andy Green year? I think he might have been.
He was there for Andy Green, Jace Tingler, last year with Bob Melvin, and he's on to his 4th manager. So I'm just saying there are some common denominators here you can start pointing fingers at. And I feel like AJ Preller gets handed a lot of blame in this whole pie. I'm curious what Padres fans think about the designation or the percentage of the pie that belongs to Machado.
Yeah, and Manny, we've talked about this time and time again. He's so moody. And depending on what that mood is, really depends on the success of the Padres.
We do it every day. Fletch, why don't you lead us off?
So I was going to go one direction, but I think that person might be listening, so I'm not going to complain about it.
The band, the group?
Yes.
One Direction?
No. It's a little risky, but it's a complaint that I think everybody in San Diego has.
It's a little risky.
I'm just not going to go for it. So I'm going to go with this.
Why? You can do it.
I'll tell you guys off there.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't. Bad?
Yeah, because it's
It's
not worth it.
Wait. Okay, listen. You guys listen to the bed music.
Okay.
I want to hear what Fletch has to say. Hang on.
All right, so that's that. But again, I don't want to.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, so I'll go this way instead. Over the weekend, I saw the new Planet of the Apes movie.
Okay.
Freaking awesome.
$55 million it made.
Awesome.
I think it was expected to make 5.
Yeah, is that true?
No, it was expected to do much, much less, and it actually blew up the box
It
office.
was legitimately awesome. And honestly, all 4 of the new era Planet of the Apes movies I thought have been pretty great. And I went in with pretty low expectations to this. I went in wanting popcorn. That was my whole reason for going, because that was going to be a great cheap meal for me.
Was there a special Planet of the Apes popcorn bucket
there
you were looking to get?
I did not get it, though. But that movie blew me away. I thought it was really, really good if you want to go to a theater and support movies being in theaters, which is a big deal.
Molded Charlton Heston's cold, dead hands.
So I saw that on Saturday. And then I got home and Kendall was going to meet a bunch of friends for drinks. And I was going to stay home because that sounds like a lot of effort. And I watched the Iron Claw movie.
I saw that.
That is the worst movie I've ever seen.
It was dumb.
How
is that the wrestling movie?
Yeah, with Zac Efron, the guy from Shameless.
Yeah. I mean, like if anything bad could happen to this family, it did.
It's the Von Erich wrestling family, which I knew a little bit about. I didn't know all of it.
Yeah,
they all die.
Yeah, it's spoiler alert.
Well, it's the true history. Like, it happened in real life. But I didn't know how quickly in succession it all happened.
Yeah, and the story wasn't the part that really drew me away from the Iron Claw. It was the fact that it was about a 3-hour movie, and it felt like 8. Like
2 hours and 20 minutes. But yeah. Look, it was a
2
good.
hours, it was 3 hours.
Like
3 hours to
I
me.
judge how good a movie is based on how much I go to my phone, and I didn't go to my phone once. Like, it had me locked
For
in.
the Iron Claw?
It had me tearing up a few times. It is a ridiculously sad movie.
Oh man, I guess I was an hour in or so to Iron Claw, and I thought, God, do I walk away from it? I've spent so much time here already. I could be done right now.
You're a bad movie watcher.
I've been here for days.
You're a bad movie watcher.
Well, look, if they suck, they suck. Okay, I can't help it.
It doesn't suck. It's a good movie. God, I did hear that's awful.
What do you got for us today? What's your monologue?
Well, okay, so you guys see, the different. Well, it's not even infomercial. These different commercials that come up for like the medical, like whatever Ozempic or whatever it may be. There's one that sticks out to me. I sent it, just a clip of it, to you, Fletch. This one to me just hits a little different. And take a listen to this.
Shingles. Some describe it as an intense burning sensation or an unbearable itch.
My God.
This painful, blistering rash can disrupt your life for weeks and could make it hard to be there for your loved ones.
Okay, the shingles ad goes a little too hard. I mean, one, it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Two, are you supposed to have like some sort of, light at the end of the tunnel? Everything sounds bad here. I feel like I'm not buying the drug just because it's unsolved mysteries.
Have you ever had shingles?
No, but
Do you know someone who has?
Yes.
It sucks.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
is
shingles
scary.
doesn't suck. I'm just saying a little heavy-handed there. I feel like Sarah McLachlan trying to get me to help out the puppy dogs. A little heavy. Oh my
the
God.
ASPCA commercials are you want to talk about tear jerkers.
Yeah.
I have come home from the night of drinking, pouring myself a glass of water, and the TV is just set on whatever channel it's running infomercials. And all of a sudden the ASPCA Sarah McLachlan.
Golly.
Dude, when you really watch that commercial, if you don't cry, you're broken as a human.
Little puppy dog's eyes staring at you.
Arms of the angels. And then it's Sarah at the end. She's going, you can save these dogs. I'm like, I can't. I'm a piece of garbage.
Wait, Bush commercial?
Wasn't that the Sarah McLachlan and then the guy out in the wilderness?
Yeah, that's right. I thought you were saying something about Sarah McLachlan. I'm like, I don't know.
My morning monologue, I guess
yes.
The scene is set in Pittsburgh. Okay. It is the site of a QB battle. So Russell Wilson is the name starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Justin Fields got traded in to be a backup. Now, Russell Wilson also got traded in. They're spending nothing on him. In fact, Denver is paying the majority of his salary this year.
Paying to take him away.
But apparently during Justin Fields' rookie season in Chicago, the Bears had 3 quarterbacks on the roster with Fields, Andy Dalton, and former Super Bowl MVP, if you remember, Nick Foles, who was with the Bears at the time, who led the Eagles to the 41-33 win over the Pats in Super Bowl 52. Well, according to Tyler Dunn of Go Long, that relationship between Fields and the other 2 quarterbacks was toxic as hell, was the quote, with the most animosity coming between Fields and Foles. So listen, we're in a new era in the NFL. There are players who are coming out of college football and they are treated a certain way and they are used to certain standards. And then when you get to the league, oftentimes they find themselves not really getting along with a veteran who has high expectations of the position room they're currently in. You saw this with Johnny Manziel recently go after one of my old buddies, Brian Hoyer. He said, I wasn't welcomed in Cleveland. I was met with animosity from Brian Hoyer, who is a veteran from New England and other places. He had started some games around the NFL before landing in Cleveland and became the starting quarterback because Johnny Manziel wasn't studying his playbook. That's the frustration when you're dealing with a player who either A, isn't putting in the time, or B, can't understand. Nobody's waiting for you. And that was the rumor on Justin Fields. His rookie season with the Bears was he didn't know the playbook.
He and Nick Foles hated each other, according to this report. I read it a little earlier today, and it was all Nick Foles was trying to teach him when he came in, and I guess Justin Fields was just kind of shrugging it off. Like, I don't need you, man. But then it came time for, like, stuff on the field, and Justin Fields didn't know what he was doing, and Nick Foles like, dude, I told you so. Responded with FU from Justin Fields, and then it went on and on and on. But it sounded like a messy situation. It led me to believe that Russell Wilson had the idea to make Justin Fields a punt returner.
Can you imagine? You're just whispering into the special teams coach's ears, like, he runs like a sub 4.5.
We got to get this dude on kick returns.
I'm just saying.
Do you remember a complaint from Sean Payton last season with Russell Wilson? He didn't know the playbook.
Yeah,
remember he wouldn't wear the armband.
Well, yeah, that went back to Seattle. He refused to wear an armband in Seattle, and then he went and he was playing with Nathaniel Hackett, still refused to. And then Sean Payton had these issues with Russell Wilson. Finally, he acquiesced to Sean Payton. I guess it was the only coach that he was willing to listen to.
How many quarterbacks do?
Wear armbands?
Do most of them?
Brady wore an armband his entire career, every single game. So, I mean, I don't understand why that is like so condemning. I'm pretty sure Patrick Mahomes wears one. Like, I don't. If anything, what it gives you is a greater catalog of plays to reach for. Like, I think it's great. Like, as many plays as you could give me on my arm instead of in my brain.
Well, now they have the ones that have flaps on them.
Oh, dude,
so you have 7 or 8 play sheets.
Some of them have multiple flaps. Like, it's unbelievable.
Like, I know Brock Purdy's scrolling through that thing. That's why they get down to like 2 on every single play clock.
It'd be cool if you could wear that in high school in class. You have all the answers.
I
Well, at what
guess
point does it switch? Do you have a little tablet on there and you could literally just like the coach pings up the
Mhm.
play on their whatever device they have and it just pops up?
When I was in high school, I sat next to my buddy Daniel, and we would write the answers to questions on the bottom of our shoes. And then when we sat at the desk, we'd put our feet up so we could each see the bottom of our shoe. It's genius.
Oh, dude,
You
I-
worked harder at cheating than you did on studying,
Yeah.
which leads me back to your lap. You
Well-
worked harder on cheating the lap
Yeah.
than you would have worked had you just taken the lap.
It's
Are
way
you just
harder.
always looking for the easy way out, you lazy son of a.
Well, but what's crazy is he's looking for the easy way out, but he's straining harder to find it.
Yeah, but it's a better story.
Well,
Yeah.
you chug some hot sauce. I feel like he got off easy.
What? No, you guys every day keep saying I still owe.
Yeah,
know,
there's going to be a
Like
punishment. It's
I've
going to
done
be.
multiple laps. I've drank the hot sauce.
Look, we're
no,
hanging
that's
out
not
on
enough.
Saturday with something special. There's going to be a punishment.
Are we
on
not allowed
Saturday.
to talk about it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I guess we'll find out
Yeah, we
today.
have a meeting about it today.
So check this out.
Secret.
Coming up, we have Iron Maiden tickets. So if you've been waiting all show long to win those tickets, we have a pair for you coming up on the other side. Also, he's in the booth, or I should say he's back, but he's in the booth this time. We'll get to that as well. But before we get to another single story on this sports show, got to talk to you about the Prize Picks app. Got to talk to you about something that happened on the Prize Picks app with me last night. So again, me and Fletch, we have this promo code DOGS. If you want to sign up DOGS on Prize Picks, you get your first deposit matched up to $100. So if you put in 100, you get an extra 100 to play with. You're going to be spending $200 on the Prize Picks app.
And Richie, today,
Yes,
Taco Tuesday.
it's Taco.
Discounts are going to be on the board. The biggest discount's already on the board. It's Caitlin Clark tonight in the opener for the Indiana Fever. She has to score more than 1 point, and you're going to be a winner with Caitlin Clark.
Oh,
So I would recommend signing up and choosing Caitlin Clark.
I'm gonna be locked in. You can guarantee that. So check this out. I had a 3-pick lineup with Kyrie Irving, Donovan Mitchell, and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. So what happens? Donovan Mitchell does not play in the game. He doesn't play for Cleveland. So I'm like, oh damn. I go back and I look at Prize Picks, and it says, oh, no problem, buddy. That's going to be a 3 times multiplier on your lineup instead of a 5 times multiplier.
Injury insurance.
It's beautiful. So there are a lot of apps that would count that as a loss. You would just lose that entry, but not with Prize Picks. They cater to what's happening in real time, and they update the app. So that came out a winner.
You're watching
Because
these games
Kyrie Irving
anyways.
and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander both went more on their stats.
Proud of you.
Thanks, buddy.
I lost with Padres yesterday.
Yeah, so did I actually. I had a lineup with the Padres as well. I didn't want to talk about that.
I feel
Come
like
on,
we all
Pods.
lost. We all lost. with
Yeah,
the
we did.
Padres.
They lost too.
Prize Picks is the best. 5 million active members in the U.S. It's the largest daily fantasy sports app in North America as a continent, which is freaking cool. But testing my skills on Prize Picks during playoff basketball, during Padres baseball has been incredible all season long. And you're watching these games anyways, so get on over and make the games a little bit more interesting. Not to mention, coming up in June, we have like the biggest month of MMA ever. And Prize Picks mixed with MMA is a ton of fun because it keeps you locked in for the whole 6 hours.
Okay, so listen, Prize Picks, DOGS, DOGS, that's the promo code. Sign up today, download the app, Prize Picks. It is the #1 fantasy app for a reason. You're going to find out. But when you do sign up with DOGS, DOGS, and you're going to get your first deposit matched up to $100. Prize Picks, pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Red Shoe Day coming up May 22nd, benefiting Ronald McDonald House Charity San Diego. Proceeds stay right here in San Diego, directly supporting our families. Funds raised during Red Shoe Day support lodging, meals, emotional support, and family day services provided by the house at no cost to families. Our iHeart team for Red Shoe Day will be collecting donations at the intersection of Balboa Ave and Ruffin Road, happening Wednesday. Lock it in the calendar, May 22nd, 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
This update is presented by Taco Bell. Padres fall to the Rockies yesterday 5-4. Pods wasting a couple of bases loaded situations in the final 2 innings to take the loss. Coming up tonight, Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres, taking on former Padre Cal Quantrill for the Rockies. NBA playoffs, Boston takes a 3-1 series lead over the Cavs, 109-102 win, and Thunder even up their series with the Mavericks at 2 games apiece, 100-96 win in Dallas. In the NFL, Lions signing their quarterback Jared Goff to a $212 million extension. Taco Bell's new craving value menu is a big deal, or rather it's 10 big deals, from new items like loaded nachos to familiar favorites like the spicy potato soft taco. Check it out at a participating Taco Bell today, available for a limited time only while supplies last.
Iron Maiden, San Diego. One night only at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater, October 4th. And it's the final day for Concert Week. $25 tickets to over 5,000 shows. That's up to 75% off on sale. Today is your last day to get $25 concert and comedy tickets and fill your summer with shows. To get your tickets, go to liveNation.com/concert week.
Don't you hate that he's kind of good at that?
It's awesome. Bruce Dickinson, by the way,
Yeah.
he wakes up every morning and he puts his pants on one leg at a time. But after he puts his pants on, he goes and he makes gold records, baby. So I've got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Yeah. Caleb dressed up as the cowbell guy for Halloween. He was like 8.
I love him. I love Caleb so much. Caleb Dale, you're a saint.
Did he get all the cards I sent him?
No, because I forgot to give them to him. Forgot I brought those home. That was a Friday. That was a Friday that we were on a mass cleanup of not our office.
Oh my gosh.
Which, I mean, it looks night and day.
We were here for 11 hours that day.
Mhm.
We were busy in that office. That was a lot of trips to the dumpster, but you know, it was worth it because we found a lot of broken glass, as it turns out. And so we understand the dangers of having too many bottles in your office.
Yeah.
Look, we're all still dear friends, and that's the important thing. I'm curious if Tom Brady and Greg Olsen will be dear friends after what's about to happen, because Brady is slated to replace Greg Olsen as the top Fox NFL announcing, or I should say NFL broadcast team.
I thought Greg did a really good job.
Greg Olsen is a very good color analyst. He is insanely talented in terms of both as a player and then his understanding of the game and his ability to convey that to fans watching, viewing, listening. There are plenty of times where when Olsen and Burkhardt were working, I could do anything while the game was broadcasting. I would take my phone on YouTube TV, stick the phone in my pocket, have my AirPods in, doing chores around the house. And it's like listening to a radio call, because Greg Olsen is so elaborative and he's so creative with the way he explains things that he creates a visual picture if you're not watching what's happening. He's incredible at the job. However, Tom Brady is the greatest football player who's ever walked planet Earth. So he's going to be given every opportunity to be the best at this he possibly can. And you were right earlier, TD. I thought it was for $100 million less. He's getting paid $375 million over 10 years to do this for Fox. I thought it was in the
threes, but but I figured you knew better than me.
So what happens?
I did not. 37.5 a year is what they'll be paying.
Like, what happens if we get halfway through this season and everybody's like, Tom kind of sucks at this?
Doesn't matter. Here's $375 million.
Yeah, that money.
But is that a scenario you can even picture happening? Like, Rich, you've been in a locker room with the guy. I wonder if the prep is going to be anywhere close to similar, because it was talked about his prep for games like an addiction, where he would stay up till 3 a.m. just rewinding the same pieces of film over and over again. Just watch his 5 documentaries. He talks about it a lot. But now you get to this point in his career, like, is this going to be a similar style of prep to where he knows every little thing and he's able to convey that with conviction and able to convey what's happening on the field to somebody like me who doesn't understand the game from a football player in the locker room perspective?
Well, he would get in front of the team occasionally. It didn't happen a lot in New England, and he would lead an offensive meeting. Billy O'Brien, our offensive coordinator at the time, he would hand over we call it the cowboy or the clicker, where you're rewinding film. You got the laser pointer. You have control of the meeting when the cowboy clicker is in your hand. And he would go through play after play after play, and he would talk about what the protection is looking at in terms of the pass protection with the offensive linemen and the tight ends and the running backs if they're involved. He would talk about what the defense is doing, what defense we expect against this personnel group, plus what formation we're in, plus what motions we're running. Hey, so the reason why we're motioning this guy over to this side, we're bunching it up on this side, is because we're attacking cover 2 here. So there's going to be one deep safety to this side. Hey, Gronk, you're going to have to, angle this in to get that backside safety. Chances are you're not going to be open. And Randy, you got to run, get downfield as fast as you can. Jules, you're going to come, Julian Edelman, you're going to come open in the seam here. And that's the way this is designed to attack their cover too.
That's all great.
Little things like that. Now,
but Rich, what you do a great job of on the Aztecs broadcast is making it easy to understand for normal people, not for NFL people.
Right.
Like, can Tom make that transition? Because everything you just said was very jargony. It was very NFL-y. It was very locker room. That's your meeting with the other guys who also do this for a living. Now he has to say that to people who take out trash for a living.
Well, but that's a great point. And I don't know if he's got, my assumption is he'll be great at it because he'll train for this like he trained for his football career.
Yeah.
Because you're not great at everything when you start playing football, but you improve your deficiencies with practice. And I guarantee you he's practicing. And maybe that's the reason why he didn't do it last year. And he sat out a full season, and he's going to do it this year.
And then part of that will just be doing it and figuring it out along the way. I think he'll be fine, because I do think that he will have, and the reason he's getting paid this money, not only because he's GOAT, not only because he's Tom Brady and it's the name on the broadcast, but he does have a unique ability to dissect a play. So you're just going to be able to see things that a lot of people won't see and then talk about it. So if he can figure it out, which I think he will, and be able to talk about it in layman's terms, it's going to be great. I don't think it's going to be bad.
Perfect at this too. I give up.
Yeah,
he's just perfect at everything.
Give up now.
I feel like
Except for being a
he'll
husband.
be fine. Wow. Is this the roast again?
Oh,
Giselle's going to call in.
He was with that karate man, Tom. He was with that karate man. She that's
8
what
times
she was.
a day, Tom.
8 times? And she was a white belt, Tom.
I thought was great. The complaints of that joke was the fact that he said karate man. And so like jujitsu people were like, it's jujitsu. Like, okay,
you get it right.
that was
buddy.
part of the joke.
You
pal.
take it easy, Buster.
Yeah.
It's jujitsu. It is the most masterful of the martial arts. No, listen, it's so funny that you said that, because I got lost in the sauce a little bit there, because I was remembering meetings where Tom took over those meetings. But I shouldn't say it's easy, because you're right. Some people struggle conveying jargon in normal terms.
If Tony Romo wasn't so good at predicting plays before they happened, he would have gotten in that trouble, because he does talk too football-y.
Yeah.
He's gotten better at it, but at first it was too football-y, but it was overshadowed by the fact that he's like, oh, this is going to be a run to the left. And then it was a run to the left every time.
And I'll say this, I know that Tom Brady will have that predictive ability also, because part of the reason why Tony Romo, and go back and look at Tony Romo play, he was a great quarterback. Now, I don't think he was even on the level of a Tom Brady, but he was a super intelligent quarterback. In fact, he was more intelligent than his physical abilities allowed him to. If he had the same on-field acumen as Tom Brady, he would be a similar quarterback. Not the same because he wasn't as clutch as Tom Brady, but Tom Brady had more accuracy. So yeah, if you give like Drew Brees' accuracy or Tom Brady's accuracy to a Tony Romo, he would have had a much better career. But intelligence wise, he was right there. And Tom Brady, that's the thing about him that made him so special, is he had the intellect, the know-how. He knew what the defense was doing to us before we do it. He would switch plays at the line of scrimmage, and it got really confusing as an offensive lineman for him, because the whole playbook was available to him at any moment. Like, he would see something happening, and then he would switch it to a play that we hadn't ran in 8 weeks, and I'd be like, good God. All of a sudden, you're like, what does that word even mean? And you're just like, Randy? That's a code word? And then you're like, oh my God, that means he's throwing it to Moss, and we just have to cut the guy in front of us.
What's the percentage?
Wait. The code word to throw to Randy Moss was Randy?
No, actually, there was a play we ran. I remember one time, dude, I had no idea what I was doing.
Hidden in plain sight.
I pretended.
What was the percentage of times you had to pretend on the field?
Not a lot.
What was the percentage of times you're like, I'm just going to block this guy. Hopefully that's the play.
Not a lot. Early in your career, a lot more, but that was the one thing I knew I could control. There's a lot of things you can't control, so I always made sure I have my playbook down. Like, I was going to know everything. I was going to be that guy. And also, I like playing center, which you're in control of a lot of that stuff. So I made sure I was good on there. But there were times where you're caught. And when you're caught, you have to hit somebody. And I remember one time it was a blind guess, and thank God I guessed right. And I was one of like 3 out of 5 offensive linemen who did. And so the other 2 guys are getting harangued in this meeting. They're just like, now these 2 dumb blanks, they don't know they're blank from their elbow. And I'll tell you right now, if you keep this blank going on, you're going to be on the next thing smoking out a blank in town. You blanking blanks. And I was just like sitting there like, yeah, these blanking blanks. What a bunch of blankety blanky blanks.
What's funny is when you watch a game and you see like a linebacker come unblocked to the quarterback and he just kills the guy.
Yeah.
You never really think about, oh, well, that was probably an offensive lineman forgetting the play and realize he was trying to go block the wrong guy.
Or sometimes it's the quarterback's fault.
Yeah.
And sometimes offensive lineman gets blamed for it, because there'll be times where the quarterback will be like, hey, whatever. Number 52 is the Mike, meaning the middle linebacker, which in certain pass protections, for example, you're sliding to the weak side linebacker. So you have the center, the guard, and the tackle. They're all sliding to the next 2 down defensive linemen and the weak side linebacker. So those 3 for those 3. And then all of a sudden on the right side of the offensive line, you have a 2 defensive linemen that the guard and the tackle have to block. So what does that mean? The quarterback has to know that if the middle linebacker blitzes, he has to throw hot off the middle linebacker. So there are times where a poor offensive guard will get harangued on a broadcast like he never even saw him. And it's just like, yeah, because the quarterback told him, I got that guy. You guys take care of the rest. And he didn't see him.
I miss football.
I miss football too. I miss it so much.
We got some Aztecs football news yesterday. It looks like they got 1 scholarship left. They've filled out the team for the most part around everyone else. Like, that's August is coming up.
August is coming up. I got to the spring game. I spectated from the seats. I was like envious of John Schaefer in some ways, because he was down on the field. He's interviewing Coach Lewis. And then I realized like, no. You work enough. I have never watched an Aztec football game, whether it's a spring game or otherwise, as a fan in my life. I've never done it.
And you've been to every single one of them.
Yeah, I've been to all of them, and I never got. So I just sat in the stands with my kids, and we ate popcorn, and we had pizza, and we had fun, and we're eating M&Ms. And then all of a sudden, Schaefer comes up from the field. I'm like, "Oh, hey!" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, I was like, "How was it working?" Like the rest of the
Loser.
stiffs down there, and he's just like, "Nah, it was cool." It was great, man. And the team looks good. They have some speed. It's going to be exciting. See, I can't wait for football either. It's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely great. Okay. You know what else is great?
Yes. Horns.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, the horns are appropriate for this next conversation, because if you want the horns playing for you, you got to get to the man zone.
I was trying. Never mind.
No,
Oh, no, I can't.
Listen, I encourage everybody listening to the sound of my voice right now. You need to go to themanzone.com. If you haven't yet booked your appointment with Dr. Roy David, the medical director over there at the Man Zone, you need to do it. Here's the reason why. Testosterone, it is decreasing every single day you're alive after you reach the age of 40. It is a scientific fact. I mean, you'll have some good days or some good months maybe, but overall, year after year, your numbers are falling. And it's a part of the natural aging process. But do you just want to age naturally and allow yourself the muscle tone, the energy levels to slip away? No. You're doing other things to help yourself out. You're drinking coffee every day, or you're trying to go to the gym to keep in shape. What are you doing? You're staving off father time. So do it the best way possible. Increase your testosterone numbers today by going over to the Man Zone. Now, you may not be in danger of any health concerns, or you may not even be low on testosterone, but isn't it better to know than to not know? Get that information for yourself. Book your appointment. It's a free consultation over at the Man Zone. Check them out at themanzone.com. You can book your free consultation today. Get your numbers checked. And like I said, maybe you're in the right range. Maybe there's no issue. Maybe you don't need hormone replacement therapy. But if you do, this is the time to check it out, because the sooner you fix this, the sooner you'll feel better, the better you'll look. We got the summer months coming up. You're going to be back in that bathing suit. Don't be the flabby dad at the beach. You don't want to be the flabby dad. You want to be the buff dad. Trust me, it's better. And I'm working on that myself. So get to the Man Zone, manzone.com. That's themanzone.com.
Keep up with San Diego Sports 760 anytime, anywhere, whether you're stepping out of the car or settling in at home. Just ask your Google or Alexa smart speaker to play AM 760 or stream it live through the iHeartRadio app. It's never been easier to stay connected with your favorite shows like this one right here, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. San Diego Sports 760.
Live life, Moss.
Laps, both of you.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Welcome to your Tuesday. Padres lose yesterday. Dylan Cease on the mound. Coming up today, game 2 of the 3-game series against the Rockies. Then they go on the road to Atlanta. We'll get back to the Padres in just a little bit. We got some talkbacks on the free iHeartRadio app. If you don't have the app, download it now, because you can hit that little microphone button next to the play button and you can leave us a voicemail. We can play on air. So we have 3 of them lined up already. Some thoughts on the Padres.
I got a bold prediction for today's Padres game.
Yeah, what's that?
First complete game from a Padres pitcher this year.
Interesting.
I think Dylan Cease goes the full 9.
I like that.
Wow.
I like that.
Wow.
So if you want to answer this question, or if you want to speak out on what you think the Padres' problem is, this was the question we posed earlier. If you were going to take a blame pie, right? It's a pie of blame, and you're going to cut it up, and you can only make 2 slices. There are 2 common denominators with this Padres team over the recent history: AJ Preller and Manny Machado. How much blame are you designating to AJ Preller? How much blame are you designating to Manny Machado?
Third sliver, the curse.
Maybe there's a little room for the curse. But yeah, we would love you to answer that question on the text line 70470. Start your message with team, or go ahead and hit us up on that free feature on the free iHeartRadio app, the talkback feature. Okay, so Patrick Mahomes, she's back in the news again.
Brittany Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes' wife, I should say, is back in the news.
She do something with the portal?
She didn't do anything with the portal.
No.
Can't she?
But hold on here. So it was like, what, a month or 2 ago that there was Brittany Mahomes swimsuit edition,
Right.
Sports Illustrated.
Right.
This hasn't come out yet?
No.
We were still leaking photos?
No, we saw she put up the video, right, of the photo shoot, but she wasn't showing herself in any of the swimsuits.
Wait, I thought.
But then we did see a
was
couple pictures of swimsuits, and there was a lot of under
under boob.
Yeah, she needed a larger suit.
Well, I don't think she needed anything.
No.
I would make an argument, maybe even smaller, maybe even a smaller swimsuit.
Then
I'm
she
fine
changed
with
to a
that.
redhead at some point.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's
which I kind of like better.
yeah.
I like Brittany redhead.
So, Brittany modeled in a pink sparkling bikini in another photo. And then she posted that to her Instagram. Look, I don't even know what her Instagram handle is. I'm assuming. Oh, there it is. Is it just at Brittany Lynn? Yeah, at Brittany Lynn. You can find her. I guess this was posted maybe 24 hours ago, so you may have time still.
Never trust a girl with a middle name Lynn.
But here's
Why?
With 2 N's.
Brittany
Wild.
Lynn, Tawny Lynn.
Red
Yeah.
flags.
It's from Ted, the movie Ted.
Oh. I did like that movie, but I don't remember quotes from it. I
They're
apologize.
sitting on the couch smoking weed. He's a stuffed teddy bear. I don't know if you recall.
It's a really good movie.
Do you know who Gayle King is, though?
Yeah, I know. She's Oprah's girlfriend.
Yeah. Oprah's friend. So
yeah,
Gayle
yeah.
King, 69 years old.
Say Oprah's girlfriend?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Is Oprah lesbian?
Well, no. Like
I
a
meant
girl, like a friend of
Sorry.
the girl.
Sorry.
Come on.
She's married to Stedman, and everybody knows that.
Is she married to
Not
Stedman?
me.
He's
I don't know
on.
if they're married. I
he's-
think they're just, they're just shacking up.
He is living with Oprah, and everybody knows they're steady.
Gayle King, who's 69 years old, apparently is also in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. Here she is, Fletch. What do you think?
How old?
I mean, 69?
Not enough.
thought that was the threshold.
Doesn't she have a show with Charles Barkley on CNN?
I don't know.
Is
I
it
like
her?
Gayle King.
Hang on, let me.
Terrible show.
Hang
What-
on.
Was that your Charles
Terrible.
Barkley?
It's not bad.
Okay.
Pretty good, I guess.
Charles Barkley.
Oh God, what have I done? I've lost Gayle King.
And Gail. There it is. Okay. What was the name? Oh, it's King Charles. Get it?
Oh,
Yeah. They
Yeah, I
started
get
doing it. I want to say it was like a year ago.
We might
maybe,
need to set Charles Barkley up with somebody, by the way.
with Gail King.
Gayle
No.
King or Brittany Mahomes?
Wayne and Chloe.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay.
Chuck
Charles-
fluctuates a lot. Right now,
Yeah.
he's fluctuating the wrong direction.
You know why? He's yo-yo
Another-
dieting.
Power couple, Wayne and Chloe,
Yes.
with sdfatloss.com. They will get you right. So if you've ballooned up in the midsection, right? If you got those thunderous thighs, if you got maybe a little too much weight in the keister, we get it. We
Yeah.
were there. In
Right.
fact, we were there very recently.
Well, don't point at his
to
keister.
be fair, your keister is still massive.
Thank you.
But the midsection is
Yeah, it's
evened
starting to
out.
slim out. Yeah, it's really good. It's
Mhm.
really, really good.
Which,
Yeah.
which actually accentuates the keister.
Yeah.
Yeah, your butt actually looks bigger now.
Listen, for the
Right.
guys in the listening audience, you lose 30 pounds, you gain an inch.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and it's either in the keister or
Well,
somewhere else.
the point is, if you start losing weight now, you are going to be 30 pounds down in a month as long as you pay attention to all of the great advice you'll get from Wayne and Chloe at sdfatloss.com. That's sdfatloss.com. If you go there right now, by the way, and you mention our name, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, you're going to save $200 off your subscription, and you're going to lose weight the natural way, just like us. We're natural guys.
Yeah.
Just a couple guys in the street, out natural.
Nature. When nature calls.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
it. Look, so, and this is true. Here's the true story. We all were skeptics. They told us we had to lose 10 pounds before we even allowed to say a word about this, right? They were like, well, we want to make sure that you're following the plan. So we did. We paid close attention to the advice we were receiving. We followed along the whole approach they gave us. And within 7 days, I lost 14 pounds. Fletch was down 12. TD had lost over 10. We were all impressed with the amount of weight we lost immediately. And then it only continued. By the end of 40 days, Fletch was down 40 pounds. I lost over 30 pounds in 30 days. Same with TD. We were losing weight at such an incredible volume that we started measuring as the show was going on, how much weight the show lost. We have now lost enough weight to have like a pretty large woman. I think like 140 pounds total. Is that
pretty large?
is
Yeah,
that-
yeah,
well,
that's
I mean,
all right.
depending on height.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like a 3.5-foot woman.
yeah, huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
I think Mrs. Fletcher weighs around 140 pounds. So you be careful.
Mm-mm.
She is not large.
She's 6 feet tall though.
Yeah.
146 feet tall. Look, the point is she towers over Fletch. The point is,
Dunks on him.
the point is, if you want to lose weight at a massive rate, you got to get with sdfatloss.com because we were skeptics. This was to us, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. We were excited with the results and we've kept the weight off. I'm still down Fletch is working on getting down further. It's awesome. It's really, really awesome. TD's looking better than he ever has. We used to
Feeling better. Feeling better.
We used to have to roll him out of this place.
Oh
it was
my God.
really despicable.
You did.
Yeah, we could never put a tie on him.
His neck
No.
was way too long. Short
Right.
ties.
Yeah. It was just a rope.
Just-
You'd use a rope.
Just bow ties, chokers, really. Anyways, sdfatloss.com.
This update is presented by Albertsons and Vons. Padres fall to the Rockies yesterday 5-4. Pods wasting a couple opportunities with bases loaded in the final 2 innings to take the loss. Coming up tonight, Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres, taking on former Padre Cal Quantrill for the Rockies. NBA playoffs, Boston takes a 3-1 series lead over the Cavs last night, and the Mavericks fall to the Thunder, evening up the series at 2. In the NFL, Lions signed their quarterback Jared Goff to a $212 million contract extension, and we get a couple more games. It's going to be Cowboys and Browns week 1. That's going to be Tom Brady's first time in the broadcast booth. Week 1, Monday Night Football, is going to be 49ers and Jets in Santa Clara. And then week 2, we get a Bengals-Chiefs game. Shop Albertsons and Vons for great digital deals. Right now, get a 1-pound pack of fresh strawberries for $1.82. And Oscar Mayer bacon, 12 ounces, is $4.97. Limit 2 with digital coupons on Vons or Albertsons.com. Shop in-store or online.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Happy Tuesday to those who celebrate. We are going to do it. We're going to dive back in. We have to do it. We try to stave off the inevitable. Nobody really wants to do it, the dirty work of figuring out what is wrong with the Padres, but we're going to get to the bottom of it this hour. I think we're going to finally get to the crux of the issue.
I honestly, I was excited. I thought you were going to talk about the portal.
Serious
like
question.
the water's warm.
Is there something wrong with the Padres, or is this just who they are? A 500 baseball team.
Well, is there something wrong with the Padres? I believe you could say there must be something wrong if you have this many superstars on a team and you're a 500 baseball team. There's a problem somewhere. Now, is it on the surface? Doesn't look like it. There's something that's rooted somewhere that needs to be fixed. Now, we've talked about this in the past several times as well. There's a common denominator, and that common denominator is AJ Preller. And this would be our guess that this is like the final go, man. You either make this work or you're probably not going to be here.
Yeah, I mean, I think in no uncertain terms that's been explained to AJ Preller privately. I think that publicly, the way that they've discussed AJ Preller, the tone of the answers to questions about the future of their president of baseball operations and general manager, AJ Preller, it has changed compared to the Peter Seidler years. I mean, Peter Seidler referred to AJ Preller as excellence, basically said that he is greatness personified. He could do no wrong in terms of what Peter Seidler felt about him. And that's great that Peter Seidler spoke so glowingly about an important member of his baseball team and his franchise. However, the reality is when you do start looking at common denominators and you do start thinking about the length of time that he's had control of this team and the amount of winning that's occurred over that length of time, the unfortunate reality is there hasn't been enough to justify him staying here much longer. Now, if they have a great season, they make a playoff push, they make some noise in the playoffs, I mean, he'll have my faith renewed because he's cobbled together another playoff contender, and it'll be another playoff contender in, say, 5 years. If we go back to 2020 through 2025, you say they've been to the playoffs 3 times in the past 5 years. All of a sudden, that feels a little bit better. Now, what you have to cure is these weird in-between years that seem to go sideways for the Padres.
Or the regular seasons that haven't been good, period.
Yeah.
It feels like when you get into the postseason, it's eking in. And is that enough? Is that enough to build a team of superstars and just eke into the postseason? It doesn't feel right. And it's a problem that other franchises that have similar talent never have to deal with.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And I posed the question earlier, and we're starting to get some answers back. There are 2 common denominators. It's not just AJ Preller. There's also been Manny Machado. Manny Machado signed with this baseball team years and years and years ago. He's creeping up on being a Padre for 10 years after a couple more seasons. So when you look at the 2 most common denominators, Manny Machado, who's on to his 4th manager as a Padres superstar, AJ Preller, who has fired, I believe, 5 managers, has had 6 managers during his tenure as general manager or president of baseball operations. Those are the 2 guys who have been around the longest, have been with this franchise the longest. So if we're going to cut up a pie of blame, what percentage do you give to AJ Preller? What percentage do you give to Manny Machado? because we know how important clubhouse leadership is. We know how important superstars playing like superstars, how important that is to the success of a team. But we also understand that team building and team success are linked as well, and a general manager has an important role too. So assess the blame. Let's figure out like who has the bigger share. So that essentially tells you, it points to what needs to change the most. We're starting to get some talkbacks. It's on the free iHeartRadio app. You hit that little microphone button. You can leave us a voicemail. Who do we got first here, Fletch?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see that as well. There's so many ifs in this, because when Soto was here, he was the best Padre, but he wasn't the Soto that was traded. He wasn't the Soto that we all wanted him to be. But he was getting on base. I don't know if that means, Tatis is fired up as well. I mean, you can make that argument. I could see that.
Yeah, you certainly could. I mean, look, what it sounds to me is that this listener, feels that AJ Preller then deserves the heap of the blame. Like, when you're talking about transactions that have an effect and implications on the success of a baseball team, you're talking about personnel, you're talking about AJ Preller. He's in control of that decision. You trade Soto to New York, you're not able to get ownership to trust you enough to pay a guy that you want to pay, if that were the case, or it is in your mind that, well, I don't want to spend all this capital on Soto because we need pitching, we need this, we need that. It's still within your control if you're the president of baseball operations. So it sounds like, at least from what I'm hearing, this guy thinks it's AJ Preller. He's the problem.
I think that's what I got out of that too. Now, I think we do have to understand that without moving Soto, Dylan Cease is not a Padre. Like that, those pieces were used to acquire Dylan Cease, who's been fantastic, and we're going to see him today. And he's been the best Padres player so far this season, maybe outside of Jerks and Profar. I don't think that's a stretch to say.
Well, are the Padres better without Soto?
So far this year, yeah.
So far this year, yes. So is that an AJ Preller move?
But I don't think that's a Soto problem. I think that's a Padre problem of last year. That was a little bit of an anomaly. Soto's numbers were good. I agree. Soto not being on a baseball team
best Padre.
Makes the baseball team worse.
Yeah, he was the best Padre hitter. And also, his bat started to wake up in the postseason his first year, the year he was traded from the Nationals.
In the Dodgers series, Soto was a huge part of that. They don't win the Dodgers series without him.
So you think about, don't get me wrong, you had to spend a lot of prospect capital to get Soto here in the first place, and then trading him away.
One of those is an MVP candidate this year.
Right.
CJ Abrams. And Josh Naylor also.
Josh Naylor, he's going to be an all-star. Yeah. Josh Naylor is hitting homers at a massive rate.
Joe Moon up next.
Well, you know what? I feel that frustration because look how high we were after a Dodgers series where you go, this could be the best team in baseball. This is unbelievable.
Never going to lose again.
Never going to lose again. And you lose one game to the Rockies and you go,
yeah. I know.
We called it on yesterday's show, by the way. We talked about the pendulum swing. We're like, if they go out and lay an egg against the Rockies, it's going to be a very different conversation tomorrow. Guess what? It's a very different conversation.
They were pre-streaking, and now they're not streaking. By the way, you're hearing messages here left on the talkback feature. So if you're listening on the free iHeartRadio app, you'll see a microphone there. Tap the microphone. Send us a message. We're talking Padres.
Well, yeah, listen, and the question we asked today was AJ Preller, Manny Machado, the two common denominators. Who do you give more blame to for the Padres' fall? It's our first listener. They weighed in on the talkback. What they said was it's AJ Preller. The Soto trade killed them this year. You heard from Joe Moon. He's not blaming Machado or AJ Preller. He says the whole team sucks. They're mediocre at best. Look, there's a lot of people out there who feel that way, but we want to hear from you. So hit us up on the talkback feature or on the text line 70470. Start your message with team.
I feel that way when I watch a team lose to the Rockies that they shouldn't be losing to.
And it's how they lost last night.
Yeah.
That game should have been a 9-5 Padres win. The Padres had the bases loaded twice in the last 2 innings with less than 2 outs, and they don't capitalize on either. They don't score a single run in either of those situations.
After Jackson Merrill hits the solo shot in the 7th, okay, they had 8 walks. So they were within 1 run.
It feels mathematically impossible
It was a
not to score a
5-4
run.
baseball team. They had 8 walks. So at some point, it's impossible not to have multiple base runners. You gotta score.
The top of the lineup.
I know.
Had the bases loaded twice in the final 2 innings of the game.
All right, we're gonna hit a halftime. Then we got to hit our Four Corners news
Hit
desk.
a halftime right in the mouth.
Wow.
Boy, we are so fired up this morning. We've had so
Angry.
much coffee.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking about it. We were just digging in here. Padres lose to the Rockies yesterday. Vasquez gave up 5 runs, and that was way too much for the Padres to overcome. Even with 11 walks, a 2-run shot from Profar, and a solo home run from Jackson Farrell Merrill, and the bases loaded in the 8th and the 9th, they couldn't get more than 4 runs. They lose 5-4. They play again tonight at 6:40, I think. Yes, confirmed, 6:40. In the world of football, Jared got broke Goff. The Lions are signing Goff to a 4-year, $212 million extension. The contract is the richest in team history, with $170 million of that guaranteed.
Wow.
And in the world of football, a soccer club in Romania currently being investigated following reports that they had an ineligible player on the field or the pitch.
Yeah.
God, I hate calling it that. I hate calling it that.
It's a field.
And here's the kicker. You're welcome.
Ouch.
It's allegedly a player's twin brother who isn't on the team. Edgar Lay, he's 30 years old, allegedly made his twin brother pretend to be him.
That's awesome.
And then played a total of 5 games for a different team.
That is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Right now. If I have a twin brother, all I'm going to do is do that.
Yeah.
I'm going,
What's up,
make
Chris
him do
Ornberger?
stuff.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, if I could clone myself, well, I told you already. If I was going to choose between 2 half-size Rich Ornberger clones or 1 full-size clone, I'm going with the full-size clone.
So the day you got cut from the Patriots, that was Chris, not Rich, right?
Yeah. Oh, and I would blame him 100%. I'm like, he's a crummy football player.
The day you hit the church van with your car because you were late to a meeting, that was Chris?
Yeah. Rich would never do that. Rich would never, ever rear end.
It'd be like
Father
Prestige, though.
Time.
Prestige, you could kill your clone
That's true,
and
too.
no one would know.
No, it's a great movie.
Yeah, so if you want to just murder him. In the NBA, the scores from last night, Austin Eckler, the Cavs, 109-102.
That feels like a lap.
Why would
feels
that be a lap?
Oh, that feels like a lap.
And the Thunder Wiener Snitchled, the Mavs, 196.
Neither of those were good. Also, of all the Austins in the world, you picked Austin Eckler?
Well, I mean, what do you want me to do? I was trying to go Blake Shelton, Austin, and then I thought,
Austin.
Yeah, because
much of
that
a
was too much of a
stretch.
reach.
How could you?
Go ahead.
Now let's do it.
John
laps
Fink
or
will
one
take
lap?
no, just one.
Just one.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back, John Fink, newsman John Fink.
Newsman John Fink joins us right now for Four Corners. He is our Four Corners news correspondent, bringing you all of the top stories from the Four Corners of the map. John Fink, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Scouring the globe to find the stories you didn't know you needed to know. From the Four Corners News Desk, I'm John Fink. We're going to start off in, it's very serious, in New York and Dublin at the same time. A portal between the two cities had to be shut down. This is why we can't have nice things. You're nodding your head like you know about what I'm about to say.
This is our favorite story. An OnlyFans model flashed on the New York side. And apparently that's not allowed.
Yeah, they don't like that.
Wait, did you find video of the Dublin side?
No,
I did not.
No, I did.
We got the
scour.
US side.
We got the US side. We got the New York side.
Yeah.
So cell phone footage can actually confirm this happened.
Yes.
And we had serious side boob footage.
This is true. I noticed
However,
that.
we haven't seen full frontal.
No. I am doubling down on the fact we can find it.
Do you want another one?
Jesus, here he goes again.
Dude.
There he goes again. There he goes
Wow.
again on the lab.
Well, the best
Here you go,
quote
John.
about this was the explanation from the OnlyFans model saying, "I thought the people of Dublin deserved to see my 2 New York homegrown potatoes."
Oh yeah, show him real quick. Yeah.
Oh,
He's
found
got
it.
He's got video footage.
Oh.
Now this is the New York side.
Oh, okay.
So serious side.
Oh,
booth.
wow.
Yeah.
Yes. She's very animated.
Normally we play Porn with Friends on Wednesday, but we make exceptions.
Okay, well, hey, I'm happy to be a part of any kind of exception. This one is pretty amazing as well. A passenger on a Southwest Airlines flight has gone viral for climbing up into the overhead luggage bin and taking a nap.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I would file this under news that's not relevant to any of us normal-sized humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, normal size. Wait.
John,
Oh,
you're
wait.
9 feet
Yeah,
tall.
you're 9 feet tall.
What? I am?
What?
Oh my god! Oh, I'm so dizzy.
Wait, you took a nap in the bag in the overhead
Yes,
container.
in the overhead bin. There are pictures of this individual sleeping in the overhead bin.
I'm gonna look this up. Yeah.
It looks like they're pretty comfortable, so I would guess they are a teeny tiny person.
Baggage nap
Would you say over 5'10"?
image.
Yes.
Just wondering if we could pack
Oh
Fletch as a
my-
carry-on.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
wow, Fletch doesn't like that idea.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This actually, it doesn't scream uncomfortable. It's,
Well,
Right? They look relatively comfortable.
now, if they knock down some of the
Wait.
partitions and you
Yeah.
can stretch your legs out a little bit,
I could probably rock that if they knock the partition down. I
Yeah.
could take up like a couple of bins.
and people will just leave you alone.
Yo, on
Huh.
a flight. That
Yeah.
sounds like magic.
you could check out Portal videos.
Well, as long as you paid for the Wi-Fi on the plane.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. Of course.
Yeah,
Of
they
course.
seem to be
Yeah.
totally cool with looking at it. Anyway, so the best comment on this was that Southwest does allow you to choose your own seat. I guess.
Overhead. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll take the
yeah.
overhead. Thank you very much.
Mhm. Mhm.
I have personal experience about fighting for the right seat that I can actually fit in. Definitely got some looks
Yeah.
trying to get on an airplane, being like, "No, I really need the exit."
Oh no,
row."
no. I'll tell you right,
right,
now.
right.
If John Fink, if he's coming down the aisle and I'm sitting in Southwest, dude, I'm making myself look as large as possible. I'm like, there is no way I'm letting this giant sit next to me.
Right.
It's gonna be the worst
Right.
and sweatiest
Oh,
flight
yeah.
of my life.
Oh, this is all accurate. Although if it was you, Rich, I'd probably try and sit in your lap.
No, no.
Wow.
I would spread out and be
Oh,
like,
come on, let's get
seats
cozy.
taken. It'd be like the scene in Forrest Gump.
Seats taken.
Yeah.
What else we
That's
got?
amazing. Well, these last two stories I kind of feel like could be the narration. You guys remember that Real Men of Genius?
Oh yeah,
line of commercials?
yeah. Which started out as Real American Hero.
Real American Heroes, and then they made it Real Men of Genius.
Yeah, I guess they got sued.
Oh, did they now?
Yeah.
How did
There
that
was a TV show called that. And they didn't like it.
Oh,
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Mhm. So it went to Real Men of Genius.
You know what? We are all about learning here on Four Corners, and I learned something.
Well,
I appreciate it.
we did it. We did
Normally,
it.
you're the teacher.
Yes, the teacher has become the best.
So Real Men of Genius.
Yes, so a grandfather in Sacramento has now been arrested for paying a homeless woman $20 to look after his 7-year-old granddaughter while he got drunk at the bar for hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Look.
Priorities. Y'all.
Yeah. You know what? You know what he needed?
What's that?
A clone.
Yeah. Chris Ornberger.
Yeah.
Have
Chris Ornberger
Ornberger
could have
show
watched
up.
the kid.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
Chris
Yeah.
Ornberger was the one that got the $20 there and was watching.
Could be. Yeah, he could have been the drunk at the bar.
That's also true.
Sad because he got cut from the Patriots and his brother doesn't talk to him anymore.
He's a real
man.
ass.
Does he ever call? He never calls.
No, nor should he. Or text.
Speaking of
But
ass,
if he wants to use the free iHeartRadio app and use the talkback
Yeah.
feature, he can leave a voicemail.
That's a great idea.
speaking of ass, I was looking at these Brittany Mahomes swimsuit
Yeah.
photos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like
Whoa,
she could
lady.
use a little more Ornberger.
Well, I will say this. The picture was taken, I believe, on a downstroke.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So gravity is pulling everything.
Oh, I got you.
flatter.
Because she's
That's-
running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Please
can
don't
tell.
say stroke when you're talking about those pictures.
Okay.
What?
Wow.
What?
Well.
What?
Oh, wow.
What? It's sometimes he says things. There's stroke of genius.
Yeah. Thank
Oh.
you.
Yeah.
Fletcher's having a medical
Yeah,
emergency.
but
Yeah.
like, and when we talk about these things, we try to paint a picture with a very broad stroke.
Thank you. Yeah.
Speaking
Yeah.
of-
John,
Absolutely.
think what's next?
Speaking of broad strokes, this is my favorite story of the day. A California man from Seaside, California, near Monterey, had to figure out a solution. The homeowners association told him to keep his boat out of sight. He has it parked on a driveway next to his house. They ordered him to put up a 6-foot fence, which he promptly did.
Okay.
And then turned around and hired local artist Hanif Pani to paint a mural that's a photorealistic version of the boat on the front of the fence.
Oh my God. I hate it and love it so much at the same time. God.
I definitely file that under malicious compliance.
Yeah.
I love that.
The city has not contacted him about the mural just yet.
Well, just yet.
Well,
see.
only
nicely
a matter
done.
of time. I remember I had an HOA. Thank you, John.
Yeah, thank you,
My
John
pleasure.
Fink.
Thanks for having me.
Bringing us the news we didn't know we needed.
Yeah.
I had an HOA that got mad at us one time because we had the waste, the whatever it is, the trash can.
Yeah.
They were just ever so peeking out from behind an air conditioning unit. They said no go, and I never paid the fine, and I left my trash can. I was the guy who had my trash cans out all the way until Thursday.
Nice.
Like, I mean, I was so mad at this HOA, and they kept putting fines on my door. I lived in Arizona for exactly 8 months in this house. I probably accrued thousands of dollars in HOA fines. Hey, listen,
You can just get a larger air conditioner.
come holler at
yeah.
me. Come holler at me. You know where to find me. I'm in San Diego now. I ain't
My
paying.
name is Chris.
I ain't paying. That's Chris Hornberger.
We,
That's
uh,
right. Yeah.
We had one of those like rolling basketball hoops that we got
Oh,
a
yeah.
letter for saying you're going to get a fine if it's not behind the gate. So I told the kids like, hey, you got to put it behind the gate. So they
Yeah.
put it behind the gate, but you see the basketball hoop just sticking up behind the
10
gate.
feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got a fine, and I
It's
mentioned
like
it
trying
again.
to hide John Fink somewhere.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
This is my life.
So we
Put me in the
kept
overhead bin.
we kept getting letters and fines, and I kept laying the thing down, and my kids would not do it. So one day I just went out with a sawzall, cut it in half.
The basketball hoop?
That'll show him.
Yeah, that was the end of basketball at our house.
So I just took a look at what Las Vegas says is going to happen tonight in Caitlin Clark's debut.
Go on.
Yes.
They say she's going to score
Portal.
somewhere between 21 and 22 points. You know what Prize Pick says?
What do they say?
1 point. You can get
Wow.
Caitlin Clark right now on Prize Picks for 1 point tonight in her opener in the WNBA.
WWE.
Yeah,
I'm
that.
gonna
Go
take
22.
I'm gonna take less on that. I have a hunch.
Not even an option. All you can do is take more on 1 point for Caitlin Clark, and I highly recommend you do so and include that in any lineup you put together tonight. Remember, it doesn't have to just be WNBA in the lineup. You can go Caitlin Clark and then a bunch of Padres if you want to go, because the combinations are endless with Prize Picks. That's why it's the #1 daily fantasy sports app in the United States. That's why it's the #1 daily fantasy sports app in North America,
No question.
with over 5 million active members.
WNBA, you can place lineups on that. Playoff basketball, playoff hockey. I've
Darts,
done both. Darts,
Power
my
slap.
goodness. Yeah, I mean
Mm.
Call of Duty tournaments. All the star players mean more on Prize Picks. Keep an eye out for starred players on the board all throughout the NBA playoffs. I've been doing this myself. Also, Taco Tuesday. You got today.
Yeah, 9:15, you're going to get a notification on your phone that tells you what the biggest discount on the boards are going to be later tonight. And Prize Picks, they're offering you all these chances to make some money, and that's what we've been doing. Richie's, what are you over $400 yet profit on Prize Picks?
Yeah, let me look. I got the stat up in front of me. I've been really good lately.
Because
which
I'm
has
over
been good.
$1,500, and I've
Oh.
been playing for 6 months.
387. I've won 387 on Prize Picks so far. I'm counting.
Yeah,
I've won
rookie
12
numbers.
lineups.
Oh.
Listen,
Oh, wow.
Prize Picks also offers injury insurance so that your lineups stay even if one of your players exits with an injury. This happened with me. I had a lineup that included Donovan Mitchell last night. He did not play in his game with Cleveland. And so I had two other players on this lineup, still won as a result of Prize Picks. You got to download this app today. And when you do, download it and sign up with promo code DOGS. That's DOGS. Dogs, right? You sign up with promo code DOGS. You save yourself. Well, you don't save anything. But what they do is they match your deposit up to $100. So if you put in 25, they'll put in 25. You put in 50, they add 50. You're playing with 100. You put in 150, they give you 150. They don't give you 150. They give you 100. You're playing with 250. Look, the point is, I'm not great at math, but the promo code works. It's all the way up until $100. Your first deposit will be matched up to $100.
And keep those notifications on, because Prize Picks is always sending some special promotion or something special. Like on Sunday, I got the email or the notification from the Prize Picks app that said, hey, even if you already have the app, all deposits right now matched up to $100.
I saw
And
that,
so
and I
I
did that.
matched it up. I put $100 more in, and I now have $100 in promo funds to play with as well. Prize Picks, download the app today. Use promo code DOGS. bark when you do it, and you're going to get your first deposit matched up to $100. Prize Picks, pick more, pick less. It's that easy. This update is presented by Taco Bell. Starting off here with the Pods, they fall yesterday 5-4 to the Rockies, wasting a couple bases-loaded opportunities in the final 2 innings to take the loss. Coming up tonight, Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres, taking on former Padre Cal Quantrill for the Rockies. NBA playoffs, Boston takes a 3-1 series lead over the Cavs, and Thunder even up their series with the Mavericks at 2 games apiece. In the NFL, Lions signing their quarterback Jared Goff to a $212 million contract extension, making him the highest paid player in Lions history. Taco Bell's new Craving Value menu is a big deal, or rather it's 10 big deals, from new items like the loaded nachos to familiar favorites like the spicy potato soft taco. Check it out at a participating Taco Bell today, available for a limited time only while supplies last.
You are listening to the sweet sounds of royalty-free Iron Maiden. Okay? This is what it sounds like. And we have a pair of tickets for you to win. Those Iron Maiden tickets are going to be at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater October 4th. Concert week almost finished. This is the final day to get $25 tickets to over 5,000 shows, up to 75% off those tickets to fill up your summer with concert and comedy tickets. To get them, go to livenation.com/concert week, or just keep it tuned in right here, because those Iron Maiden tickets, which you're hearing right now, are going to be coming up soon.
You guys familiar with Marquez Valdez-Scantling?
I'm familiar.
Receiver for the Chiefs.
Did you say Marquez?
Marquez. Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
You're talking Chiefs right now?
Yeah. Well, am I? Or is he not going to be a Chief anymore? Yeah.
Apparently, they're in talks to do a trade here to send him to the Bills. Wait.
Here's my question: what's going on with the Chiefs and the Bills? Like,
exactly.
The Chiefs traded with the Bills, or I should say, the Bills traded with the Chiefs so that they could sneak up and get Xavier Worthy, and then you have this situation. Are they going to be co-champions this year if one or the other wins? Are they
Wait, are the Bills the Taylor Swift of the NFL? Are they now dating the Chiefs?
Yeah, I think that's what's happening.
What are you looking up into the sky, Fletch? What are you thinking about?
I don't get the analogy, but
I don't know either. I mean, it
doesn't
just
matter.
felt like they should be holding hands together.
I do.
Well, listen,
I worry about the Bills this year.
The good news for the Bills is Marquez Valdez-Scantling can drop a bunch of passes for them now.
Yeah, this doesn't really do anything for me. The Bills are going to have problems this year. I know they drafted the receiver high, right? He has a good personality, I guess. He just did an interview with Peter Schrager, or not Peter Schrager, one of the guys, whatever. But the Bills are a little worrisome going into this year because it feels like their window's already passed and they did nothing in it.
Yeah, I mean, well, maybe. I don't know.
Are you talking about Keon Coleman out of FSU? Yeah. Who, by the way, is entertaining. Have you seen any
he's
of the
awesome.
clips? Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun watching his clips, and he's going to be their wide receiver 1, but you're relying on a rookie to come in and be your wide receiver 1 this year. Marquez Valdez-Scantling does nothing to tick that meter.
I don't know. I don't agree that their window is closed, because here's the thing. I do believe Sean McDermott is a good head coach. I mean, they even survived some controversy last year. You remember there was that hit piece that was
the
written.
9/11 thing.
Yeah,
survived it. It skated right past him.
Well, he won. Well, I shouldn't say he won. The Bills won 2 games back to back right after that, and one of them was on the road at Arrowhead. That was actually the game where Patrick Mahomes had that freak out, that meltdown because of the officials calling the throwback pass to, what's his name? The receiver who they got from the Giants, who just was
Kadarius Toney.
Thank you, Tony. You remember that?
That was the coolest play of the NFL season. And it got
that's
called
right.
back.
That's right.
Got called back. It was the Bills game. I'm pretty sure it was the Bills game. And that was one of the wins that the Bills had back to back after having that scandal from years ago where, I mean, Sean McDermott, don't get me wrong, referencing the attack on 9/11 as
great teamwork,
as a great example of teamwork.
Wait, he's not from Dublin, is he?
Who is that?
Sean McDermott. What? That felt like it was a good joke.
You were so close to taking another lap. I don't know.
3 laps?
I mean, you're going to derail for that?
What?
I mean, are you kidding me?
No. I just thought, that's what they like to do there in Ireland.
back on track. The
Sean
Bills,
McDermott, it's also racist.
yeah,
Just maybe he's a nice Scottish man, for all we know.
the Bills are going to be going into this season relying heavily on a second-year tight end in Dalton Kincaid, who was fantastic in his rookie year. He's probably going to actually be their top receiving target this year, followed by Keon Coleman.
Keon Coleman, yeah.
Keon Coleman, who's wildly entertaining and was a good college player. You just never know how a rookie is going to translate to the NFL. Like, it's worrisome when you look at the Bills and think about the division they're in and think about everything they're going to have to overcome this year. And is Josh Allen the guy to do it?
The biggest problem in their division, I guess, as it stands, is really the Miami Dolphins. The Jets, we'll see if the experiment works with Aaron Rodgers. We still haven't gotten to see it yet. So I feel like, I don't know who's the favorite to win that division. I would feel like the Bills are close, if not the favorite. Because look, I mean, the Bills are a good football team. Josh Allen is arguably the best quarterback in that division, depending on how Aaron Rodgers looks when he comes back from the Achilles.
Bills are favored to win the division, at least according to FanDuel. Other ESPN bet has it switched, but it goes Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots. Patriots are going to be a dumpster fire. I saw a thing yesterday that was talking about the Patriots, who are going to have a rookie quarterback this year, and a rookie left tackle, and a rookie right guard protecting the rookie quarterback. It might be trouble in New England.
Yeah, Drake May. I mean, the first thing that Gerard Mayo, head coach of the New England Patriots, had to say about him after his first day is he's got a lot to learn, which, look, every rookie does. There's no question about it. You build these guys up slowly. You don't want to make it feel like, you don't want to set expectations too high. Like Gerard Mayo probably handled that correctly. Instead of coming out and being like, Drake May is going to be the savior of New England, he's just like Tom Brady. That would have been a bad quote. So it could end up being a competitive division. We don't know. We haven't seen Drake May play a snap of football. We also don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to look like. You would assume the Miami Dolphins are going to look about as good or even potentially better than they looked last year. Another year in the McDaniel system. We'll see. Tua is hot and cold at times.
I feel like the speed took people by surprise with the Dolphins this last season, and I don't think people are going to be surprised by it anymore. Like, the Dolphins struggled a little more towards the end of the year. I remember last year around this time, the three of us having a conversation similar to this, and we were talking about how dominant the AFC would be going into the season. And they were good, but it was a lot closer than we thought it would be between the NFC and the AFC with the emergence of the Detroit Lions. Like, this year at this time, what do you guys think about the AFC NFC conversation? Because I have it pretty damn even.
As far as what's more competitive?
Yeah, just the talent out of the two leagues. Like,
AFC.
AFC dominates.
Pretty competitive. You got some
AFC
good
dominates.
teams in the NFC with the Niners, the Eagles, the Lions are all really good Super Bowl contending teams.
But hang on.
Did you just say the Eagles?
Yeah, they're going to be competitive. I'm not saying they're going to do anything.
But that's three teams that are easy reaches. On the AFC side, CJ Stroud's the real deal. Patrick Mahomes is incredible. Joe Burrow, when healthy, is incredible. Aaron Rodgers is a New York Jet. Josh Allen is still in Buffalo. Tua Tagovailoa and Mike McDaniel, that is a match made in heaven, it appears. Now, they did struggle. The Dolphins' big issue last year was they struggled against playoff caliber teams. Any team who finished in the playoffs, they were 1-6 against. So that's bad. You have to play up to the level of competition. But overall, I think the Dolphins are dangerous, and it's mostly because of that offense and the speed they have around the offense and the capabilities of Tua.
Falcons are going to be better this year. The NFC's looking good.
The Falcons are going to be better because of Kirk Cousins. I would agree, but also it's Kirk's first year in a new system. I don't know. Look, the NFC will be better, but they, on paper, they don't touch the AFC in terms of overall preseason talent we're looking at. I mean, even last year, yes,
the Falcons were 7-10 last year. So even if they're
Packers
greatly better, I don't know. I get it. Packers, Falcons look better. I mean, you got the Niners, the Cowboys, the Lions.
The Cowboys are
you
12
could leave
win.
the Cowboys off the list.
Well, but
you're talking about competitive. They were the number
really
2
good in
team.
the regular season.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I'm saying.
The NFC, it's catching up, but only really because of the emergence of Jordan Love. Like, I mean,
and maybe because of all the injuries AFC quarterbacks suffered last year. Like, we saw Jake Browning,
but the AFC,
Zach Wilson.
The AFC, you can make arguments for half
I didn't
of the
even
AFC
mention
team.
Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert.
Oh, right.
I mean, dude,
with no wide receivers.
The AFC is stacked. The AFC is stacked. Lamar Jackson. I didn't even mention the Baltimore Ravens yet.
Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, Texans, Browns, Dolphins, Bengals. Yeah, I mean, it's
Browns?
crazy. They were competitive.
Oh, I don't think.
If Joe Flacco's the leader, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't include the Browns until we know if Deshaun Watson can play football because he hasn't played a lot yet.
That's true.
But yeah, the AFC is stacked comparatively. Now, it doesn't mean that the NFC doesn't have good quarterbacks. I think Brock Purdy's a really good quarterback. I think Kirk Cousins a really good quarterback, but he's with a brand new team. I think Jordan Love is an emerging star. Obviously, Jared Goff just got broke off for obvious reasons. He's a top 10 quarterback. But when you look at the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, the lion's share, majority of them are on the AFC side. So that conference, the pendulum has swung where the AFC is the most competitive and arguably the best conference, and it isn't even particularly close, in my opinion.
Talk about being stacked. We were stacked with pounds. I mean, pounds on pounds. It was disgusting.
So fat.
Remember how many people would point at us and be like, my God, look at those animals.
One time, I remember.
That's a direct quote from my mother.
Yeah.
So yeah, Angie Fletcher, she walked in here and she took one look at Fletch and she was like, nope, that's not my son.
Nope.
Way too fat. And
Yeah.
she turned around and walked out. And we're like, no, that's Fletch. And she said, not today.
No.
Not ever.
No.
And I was like, that's rude. And then same thing happened with my mom on a FaceTime call. She was like, your neck, your face doesn't even fit in the frame. You disgust me. And Dale
Unfriended me.
she came down, unfriended Travis on Facebook, and then came all the way down to San Diego. And she was like, I don't want to see TD. I'm getting a ride from you down to the gas lamp to go to the Holiday Bowl. And I'm like, Ann, it's your son. And she said, that fat son? Nope.
Not anymore. Man, former program director Brian Long, who's tuning in right now with his son. Thank you, sir. Wanted to call us the Trace Gorditos as a show. That is an accurate.
Roughly translates to fat ass.
Yeah, Fatty McFatterson.
That's really rude. I didn't even think of that. But yeah, Trace Gorditos means the three little fat man.
Golly.
That was 278 pounds.
Showing a picture, it was like a doughy.
Look at my neck. It looks like Travis's.
Dude, I think your belly button looks like the portal to Dublin.
Listen, if you're trying to lose weight, what we're trying to say is go to stfatloss.com. Okay. I know that diets aren't fun. I know that you may be thinking, I've tried to lose weight in the past. I've done the fat diets and I lost pounds, but then as soon as I stopped them, I gained the weight right back. That's yo-yo dieting, and we don't do that with stfatloss.com.
We hate yo-yos. We threw them all away.
Through every yo-yo. Cut the strings in the garbage can. Dunzo. That's what Wayne and Chloe told us to do to start our journey, weight loss journey with stfatloss.com. Look, they'll tell you can lose 20 to 30 pounds in 8 weeks' time. You're going to say, that sounds crazy. It's going to happen. We all did it. In fact, we all exceeded that. We did it the healthy way. And the best part is we're keeping the weight off. So now when people look at us, they don't point and say they're disgusting. They point at us and say, my God, those are the hottest three guys I've ever seen in my life.
They don't say Trace Gorditos. They say Trace Guapitos.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Sorry. ¿Cómo se dice snack in Espanol?
Esta snack.
See, that's us. 3 snacks. And if you want to be a snack out on the beach this summer looking good, then go to stfatloss.com. Schedule your free consultation. Bocadillo?
What's a snack?
Sí. 3 bocadillos.
Mucho bocadillos.
That is what we've renamed the show. Trace Bocadillos. Be a Bocadillos yourself and save $200 becoming that Bocadillos by mentioning Big Rashidi and Fletch. So mention Big Rashidi and Fletch to save $200. stfatloss.com. 4-minute ad read. You're welcome. Stay connected with San Diego Sports 760 no matter where you are, whether you're stepping out of your car or settling in at home. Just command your Google or Alexa smart speaker to play AM 760 or use the free iHeart app for seamless listening.
Alexa!
It's like having your favorite station right in your pocket.
San Diego Sports 760. Make your influence pay. Ding. That's the OnlyFans slogan. Big Rich, TD and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Iron Maiden tickets inbound. We've been teasing them all hour long, so you'll have your opportunity to win them in just minutes. So hang on a sec if you want to win those Iron Maiden tickets. Bottom of the barrel. Bottom of the barrel is something we do every day where we literally scrape the bottom of the barrel and we bring you the stories that are left on the editing room floor. Steve Carell, he confirms that he won't be in the Office spinoff. He says
Why is there an Office spinoff?
Yeah, I know. That's my problem too.
Well, and he said there's no reason to do it. My question is there no reason to do the spinoff or there's no reason for him to be a part of it?
Both.
I think it's both. So I think the manager is now going to be Jim, which when we left, it was Dwight, right?
Yeah, I'm so out on this.
Yeah,
I'll
me
watch
too.
it every second of it, but I'm out.
So he says,
You watch every second of it? Did you watch every second of the new Full House?
No.
Oh,
I didn't watch any
me
seconds
neither.
of the old
Yeah,
Full House.
same.
I didn't watch. That's crazy.
His direct quote was, I will be watching, but I will not be showing up. It's not even a question. That's
Wow.
You know what? It's unfortunate because he carried that whole show.
So why do
Oh,
we
yeah.
take something that's perfect and try to destroy it?
Well, if you
The
haven't-
Office should have ended the day Steve Carell left the office.
end of season 7.
Yep.
Actually, even season 7 was a little shaky.
Okay.
To be quite
It was
honest
a
with you.
farewell tour. It
I
wasn't great.
did like the ending of The Office, but I didn't like it without Steve Carell.
Seasons 2 and 3, peak Office. 4 even I'd include in
Even
that.
6 episodes of 1.
I like the ending to this show at exactly 8:57. If you dial this number 877-767-4760, you and a friend, you're going to see Iron Maiden. It's that simple. Be caller number 5 at exactly 8:57. Call that number. You're going to win those tickets. Fletch, who do we thank?
Thanks to John Finks in the Four Corner Newsroom. TD, this was a question on the text line. Jackson Merrill hit a home run yesterday. Can you give us a screech, please?
We'll see you tomorrow. The Herd is next. San Diego Sports 760.